Welcome back to the Secrets of Sangreal campaign. Last we left off, our party found themselves trapped in a painting, fighting against a very cartoonish vampire named Count Blood and his hellhound to rescue a group of townspeople from the town of Evermoore who had found themselves locked in the jail. Most importantly, the cat Luna was locked in that jail, and I think we would all have done anything to get Luna out of there. And after defeating Count Blood, they escaped via a magical paintbrush, and they once again returned to the world of Sangreal. Weirdly, so did Count Blood, and flew away in a host of colorful birds. And as the party returned, they learned what Iop had already discovered, which was that Jason was perhaps more than he had led them to believe. And after a very long, tense conversation with Jason Too Tall McGee, the party headed out to the inn/tavern to find a room for the night. And after an interesting conversation with the tavern keeper, one of our party members, Iop, had sent Atlas out to try and spy on a large metal construct that they had seen off in the distance from Jason's house. And Atlas reported back that he felt like this was someone that Iop knew, but that something had been changed drastically. And then the party went to sleep. And now they find themselves waking up in the morning in Sangreal in the... I was going to say the Sleepy Sheep. That would have been a way better name. The Thirsty Sheep. The Thirsty Sheep Inn and Tavern.
Is that the bartender?
What?
God.
Yeah, the bartender. That's what wakes you up, is you hear downstairs the barkeeper, should have named it the Sleepy Sheep. What was I thinking?
Existential crisis at like 8 in the morning.
He's not slept at all since that conversation. And thinking, and that's the first thought he has out loud is, I should have named it the Sleepy Sheep. That would have really brought in the customers. Don't know what I was thinking. And now you guys are awake, unless any of you feel like you may have slept through this loud Scottish outburst.
I think Liana probably, because she did, drink herself to sleep, sits up, instantly and, throws a bottle against, the back of the door of her room. Bloody hell, it is too early in the morning for this.
Give me an athletics check. Let's see what this bottle throw looks like.
Ooh, that's a 16, but hang on. Fuck. There's no, extra points for that, right? There would be no mod?
I think there is. It should be your strength modifier.
Oh, okay, then 18.
Okay, sweet. Are you proficient in athletics as well, or are you proficient?
Yeah.
You are? So then add that proficiency
climbing.
modifier. Well, this isn't climbing, so we'll just add that too. So you hurl this bottle across the room and it explodes against the back of the door. So if you weren't awake before, you absolutely are now, as this glass bottle shatters against the wooden door. And the people who were banging on the wall yesterday when you guys kept having hushed conversations at 3 a.m. are like, goon, can you stop doing loud things, please?
Liana instantly answers back and goes, I didn't even stop with the loud things. What do you think woke me up? And then just waves her hand and casts her cantrip mending and fixes the bottle and props it up so it looks like she didn't do anything. Basically.
Okay, I love that. So the bottle reforms back into its original shape, sort of set it up on maybe there's got to be a nightstand in there somewhere, in case these people decide to come over and investigate to see what's what. And that is the way that Liana decides to spend her first morning moments. What's everybody else up to?
I would like to see if I could say that I have been awake for much longer.
Okay. What have you been up
to? I just woke up early to kind of get the gear on and go downstairs and sit at the bar.
Okay.
And I want to leave behind a note that said, gonna go make sure that no, they didn't call the cops on us or something. No attacks.
Don't you defuse it?
I want it to be that the note is all of these sentences, you've written all of that thought down on the note. So
Absolutely.
You're reading. I went downstairs to make sure I wanted to make sure that there are no cops. I wanted to make sure there's no one. I'm downstairs. Signed.
If you hear anything fighting, jump out the window.
So this is on both sides of a napkin, and there's a crudely drawn arrow to insinuate that you have to flip it over to see the rest of the note, which is the PS. If you hear fighting downstairs, jump out the window. And I assume that you've left that maybe on the nightstand or something. So when Liana, you throw the bottle, you will see that note that's lying there. So you go downstairs and you find this tavern keeper who has been awake all night thinking. What have you been drinking already, or are you just having a conversation, or did you order food?
I think I sit down with him and I say, hey, you got anything for breakfast?
I suppose I could make you some eggs if you like.
Yeah, if it's no trouble, absolutely.
No, not at all. It's 5 copper. Have you got it?
All right. Yep. Drops a gold and says, you know what? Just for your troubles.
Grabs the gold, looks at you, and is like, you seem to have a lot of gold, friend. What do you do for work? And he walks back to the kitchen, which is joined, and you can sort of see but he also is like, if you don't mind my asking, I understand that can be a personal question. You've got no reason to answer if you don't want to. He cracks an egg open and puts it on a skillet that he's warming under a fire that's been going. He made a cup of coffee earlier and just left the fire on. You hear the egg sort of start to sizzle.
Well, I was a merc for a long time and made a lot of gold off that, and I guess I didn't think I'd make it this far, and so now I'm just kind of spending the money like I have all the time in the world.
That's the way to live. Did you want those scrambled, or did you want... I'm sorry. I only know how to do scrambled eggs. So just scrambles.
Then I guess we'll take them scrambled.
Flips it. Sorry, I've not made eggs in a long time. I've got very few people who come here for breakfast. Sort of
oh,
stirs it around.
You ever thought about widening the business, making it more of a breakfast thing? You know?
Oh, that's true. I guess I could, huh?
Do you need a cook? I could work the day back here. Start cooking.
Oh, you want to work at the Thirsty Sheep? Yep. Sort of scrapes the eggs off of the skillet onto a plate, puts the pan back, and then takes the plate over to the counter and sits down in front of you. So what do you know how to cook?
Most different types of eggs. I could make sunny side up. I can make scrambled. I can make you know what? My best thing that I make is this breakfast quiche. You know, it's got some pig, some bacon in it, and some eggs. You know, and you put the green peppers and the onions in it, and you just salt it, and it's really good.
He takes out the gold coin that you gave him and he flips it back to you, and he goes, "You keep that if you show me how to make what you were just talking about."
All right, I go back there and start teaching him how to make it.
Sweet. I would say roll investigation, but you don't even have to. He's going to show you where everything is in the kitchen. Whatever. He's sort of playing your sous chef here, as whatever you're asking for, he runs and grabs it. And roll performance or survival, whichever one you would like. And let's see how this quiche turns out.
This is great. What is the what do I take the modifier for survival as? I forget.
It's wisdom.
Unless you want to justify something else.
Yeah. If you think there's another skill that you would employ to make
it's
this
19.
Happen. 19. That's
19 flat with no modifier.
This quiche is amazing. I mean, give me a break. Which modifier do you want to add to it? Is the question.
I'll if I can do performance, then I'll do charisma, because then I got +3.
Yeah, do performance. So you whip up this quiche in the kitchen, and it is an experience, right? Like you start calling the shots like a trained chef, and he is running around, grabbing ingredients, handing them to you, and you pull out this quiche. This may be the best quiche that you've actually ever made.
All those years in the castle's paid off.
Are you keeping it for yourself, or are you offering it to him?
Oh, absolutely. I think like I would have made sure it was okay with him, but I would try to make enough for everybody.
Okay, great. So you've got like a line of quiches on like plates waiting downstairs. And so he's got like all the plates ready. You guys have finished. You got like the towel over your shoulder, and he comes behind you and he's like, "That's incredible. Listen, if you ever want to work here, you are more than hired. You count yourself an employee anytime that you're in Evermoore."
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? I do gotta go with my friends wherever they go, but as long as we're in this town, I'll work for you. Take the morning shift.
He like holds out like his massive hand to shake on that.
Absolutely.
Right, so you shake this massive hand, and you've got your quiches made up, and that's how you spent your morning. We'll say you finished those quiches right about the same time that glass bottle shatters against the door.
So he's eating the quiche, and he's like, I should have named it to Sleepy Sheep.
That was it, right? When you were talking about having gone more into the bed and breakfast, as you're making the quiche, he has that moment where he's like, could have gone more with the bed and sleepy, the Sleepy Sheep. That's a way better name than the Thirsty Sheep. I should have gone with the Sleepy Sheep.
It makes sense for the bar.
Scatters upstairs. That's what the inside of my heart sounds like now that I've realized this opportunity.
There's always time for rebranding. But
there is always time for rebranding. You serve these quiches. I'm going to go change the name outside. And he grabs a bucket of paint from underneath the bar and goes to change it.
So I go behind the bar, put on an apron, and just
he hands you his apron as he's walking out. He goes, "You're in charge of the bar for now."
Is it over your armor?
No,
over my armor.
The horn, the paladin armor with this mercenary armor with this and it just says the Thirsty Sheep in like some fun X on the front of the apron. And that is Elvis's morning. What about for you, Viseri and Aya? How are you spending your morning?
I think Vess probably would have just like gotten up when Liana woke up. But I don't know if I think she probably would have read the note because Elvis obviously wasn't there. But
great. So you wake up as Liana is grabbing this glass bottle to throw it. And I think for a moment you're going to go to try to stop her. And then you realize as you were doing so that Elvis is not here. And you see the note on the nightstand. So like right as you lock eyes with this note and you're like, oh, Elvis left us a note. This like shatter happens against the door. You grab the note and you begin to read it. And it says all of what we said before. I've gone downstairs to make sure that there's nobody, that they didn't call the cops. The people, that there's no one downstairs. And I've
jump out the window.
And then there's an arrow to the back. Do you flip it over?
Yeah.
Flip it over and it says P.S.
Few words.
It's a full novel of a note. It's like a few words. Flip it over and it's like, if you hear fighting downstairs, jump out the window. Give me a perception check.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh my god. The first thing that you notice after reading this note is a scent that is heavenly at this time in the morning. Egg, green pepper, onion, a little bit of paprika, a little bit of something, all wafting up through, a little bit of cheese, and it all is wafting up through the floorboards, and you realize someone has made something incredible downstairs.
I think she's probably just gonna tell Liana and Ayab that Elvis went downstairs, and I'm pretty sure there's food down there.
I think you could describe with a natural 20 the exact ingredients and the way that this quiche was prepared.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
And like, that smells familiar. I know what that is. That's an open flame, skillet cooked quiche with these particular ingredients. Smells like it was cooked for this long. And
Absolutely.
It smells immaculate. Well, you guys know that
okay, so I got that. All right, I'm saying, so I got that description, and like Liana, like wolfishly, like her metabolism is going to be higher than everybody's. Like she's literally always hungry, so she like just kind of like barges down the stairs, like, and I feel like she's kind of like very childlike, whereas like she wasn't really raised by parents. Her mom is like moon touch. She's a little crazy, and dad wasn't around, so like I feel like Liana like smells the food, is super excited, and just like slides down the banister and like marches into the bar and kind of just like sits down at the bar like a 12-year-old little fucking fella does when he's starving, and he's like, "What's for breakfast, Ma?" And I think she's gonna like lock eyes with Elvis and be like, "Thank God you're the one cooking," and be like, and just be like, "I'll take 2 orders, please," and just like sit there waiting for breakfast patiently.
I would put down a plate and be like, "This one's on the house," and then go to like wiping down the bar, like classic for no reason.
Elvis suddenly has the personality of someone who's worked here for 20 years, which is slightly surprising to Liana. As you come downstairs, Elvis has the towel over the shoulder, wiping out a cup, sees you, is like, the normal, slides a plate over to you with 2 quiches on it, continues wiping down the counter.
I would say Liana like is just gonna like grab one right away and like with her hands savagely and just like shove it in her mouth and take this giant bite. But after that first bite, you're gonna see her like the recognition of how amazing this quiche is, and she's gonna like gently put it back on the plate and pick up her silverware and be like, "This is possibly the best quiche I've ever had," and start eating it like a human being. Like savoring it.
She's so precious.
I love that so deeply.
She's just a baby.
To like take a bite and be like, no, this deserves more.
You gotta do this the right way.
And, like,
She's a baby.
So cute.
I'm going to use my quiche fork for this.
But don't worry, darling. Over the course of this adventure, I'll make more.
You have like a pact.
Wait, I just have we have to have a slice and dice cookbook for all of the random meals that get
absolutely.
made during our trip. I wrote it down.
I make
don't worry, I won't
eggs.
forget.
That's
So
I
awesome.
already said eggs every way by
we have a
now.
lot of breakfast.
Eggs every way.
Yes.
Adorable.
A lot of breakfast foods. Excellent. So you take this massive bite out of the quiche. You realize that this is something different. Pull out the specific quiche fork and start going in on it. Vess, are you still upstairs with Aya?
Yeah.
So it's just the 2 of you in that room now.
She wouldn't go down there without him, so.
I think since there was first light in the room from dawn, Ayup had been up quietly tinkering on his arm. Not in a way that was loud and constructive. He was just being like very gentle, soft noises. The bottle didn't bother him. The shouting didn't bother him. He's very invested in this adjustment on his arm. And he's continuing to, like, he's very focused on it. He hasn't really noticed that he and Vess are the last 2 left in this room.
Description: quiche didn't get him.
No, unfortunately not.
So sad.
So sad. Not yet. Not yet.
I work so hard.
But it's not what you haven't lost it yet.
You haven't lost it yet.
Lost it yet. Stay in the game. Stay in the game.
I think she probably would just like say his name.
Acknowledges that name is said, looks up, blinks, and goes, "Yes."
Everybody's downstairs with food.
Oh. Right. We should go.
Yeah.
At this moment, you see, and you do see, an attempted stealth from a rather gangly figure with knife fingers trying to sneak in the window, who breaks through the window on accident.
Oh.
You hear just a shattering glass.
Oh, no.
The hand is quickly withdrawn with, oh dear heavens, And as the hand is withdrawn, it opens the window, sort of throwing him off balance, and he's hanging from the other window, swings back but overcorrects and throws like his entire body into the room, where he like somersaults over a bed and onto the floor. But then with a rather surprising grace, well, I say that now.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Atlas has -2 to his dex.
Okay, so
He's doing his best.
surprising for what he is. It's not smooth by any means, but it is surprising. Yeah, he rolled a 14 on the dice, so he sort of like gets up and sort of catches the top hat before it falls off and goes, "I've returned."
I think Bess would cast her mending cantrip on the window too. And
He turns
then
around, watches the glass like reform and comes back. That is quite some trick.
I think she would just be like, "Welcome back."
Thank you. It's been quite a night. Is it Quiche?
It is.
I'm going to go stare at Quiche. Walks straight between you guys to the door, and then like fumbles with the doorknob for a minute because he's got knives for fingers. Yes?
Atlas, maybe be a bit careful with the clinks his metal hand.
Right. Takes his hand and delicately grabs the doorknob, and you hear it like scrape for like 3 seconds before it finds purchase, and then turns the doorknob, and he turns back and in a kind of horrifying way winks, like his whole face just like smushes for a second where his eye would be, and then opens the door and like closes it behind him, trying to be very soft about it, and you just hear a and then as he stumbles down the stairs to find the quiche. And now it is you two alone in the room again.
I can't fucking work like this. And he's grabbing up like his toolkit, his schematics, shoves it in his bag, stands up abruptly, looks at Vess and goes, "Well?"
I think she would probably just smile and then go open the door.
There are new indentions where the knife hands have like scraped into the doorknob. So as you grab it, it like feels a little bit rough. But the door
She
opens.
probably would do mending on the doorknob too.
Just fixing all of the things behind
Fixing
Atlas.
Atlas's little.
I love that deeply. So you cast mending, the doorknob sort of like takes its original form, which is actually probably nicer than it was when you guys even got here. Open the door and go downstairs for some quiche. And you see Elvis running the bar. You see,
Hey, what can I get for you?
very, very politely and delicately eating quiche with the with silverware. And you see Atlas sitting with his knife hand sort of up like this, sort of clinking them, just staring at the quiche. What his
I made
thoughts
one
are.
for Atlas, and like,
He's just staring at it. And he turns, as you come downstairs, he goes, "As I said, sir, quiche."
I serve one to like Vess, and I just like, here you go, your regulars.
I think Vess would just probably like laugh and be like, you pick up a new trade while we were all sleeping?"
Oh, I work here now. Yeah, that's it. I'll just go back to watching glasses.
This is an amazing scene for me, and I'm loving the silence because I'm imagining all of you sitting in this bar now, eating quiche. I'm horribly confused by all
Not
of
eating any of it. Yeah.
None of it making sense.
What the fuck is
Leon
going
has
on?
a third quiche and just like still delicately eating it.
And it is an otherwise empty
She just takes Atlas's. It's like,
It does not seem like anybody else is here. Except
Yeah.
for a moment, the people that were in the room next to you sort of exit, and they give like a
I have glares. Oh.
they don't make eye contact. They as soon as they see what your group looks like, it seems that they are very clearly I mean, like this guy clearly is like, you know, like a traveling salesman, and like his, I guess, girlfriend probably. and they see a guy with a metal arm just glare over. They see this like construct with knife fingers and an almost face wearing a top hat go, quiche. And then they see like a tiefling working the bar, and they're like, this is not.
As they walk out, can I
Not
be
the way
like,
that it
hey,
was
we got free quiche on the house if you want it before you
That's okay,
leave.
thank you so much.
I can put it in a to-go thing for you.
I think the girl grabs one, and she just goes, thank you, and like walks out very quickly.
Y'all come back. We're the Sleepy Sheep now. We're rebranding.
While like Liana's been like quietly eating her quiche, like all dainty and such, could she have still reached out to her beast bond to Douglas the Raven, who's been gone for quite some time, and see if he's around, and ask him to keep an eye out for Count Blood?
So you reach out and you hear, what's up?
And she just must be like, good morning, Douglas. How are you today, darling?
Another beautiful day in Evermoore. What can you say?
I'm so glad you're having a good morning. I have a favor to ask of you, as I do.
Yeah. What do we got?
Well, while you're flying around, nothing too specific, but if you seem to see a rather animated, vampiric-looking fae fella going by the name of Count Blood, would you be so kind as to A, follow him, and B, to let me know?
You're telling me there's a colorful, animated, vampire, fae named Count Blood? I think you had a bad dream.
And I know how it sounds, and I did drink a couple of pints of ale last night. However,
yeah, that's what got you.
All of this did happen.
From experience,
before.
that'll do it.
She's like chuckling into her quiche.
All right, well, listen.
I'm handing you a water.
I did. Did you say he turned into birds, or am I making that up?
No, he did. He did in fact turn into birds, and maybe I might have injured a few of those birds. But remember, they're not really birds. It's actually.
Hey, listen, who hasn't? But I did happen to see a couple of birds flying out. They're not from my normal crew, so I kind of took notice. Yeah, I don't know. He seemed like he was flying west. I don't know what for. You want me to see if I can find him?
That would be ever so nice if you could, Douglas.
Would be. What do you got on the table?
What is it you would like from me, Douglas, darling?
Something shiny.
Oh, something shiny. I think I can manage a bauble or two.
Something kind of gold and shiny.
Oh, you're in the trade of currency, are you, Douglas?
Yeah,
what on earth does a raven do with coin?
We all gotta
What does a raven do with coin?
Hey, that's a raven's business, you know?
You know what? Fair play, friends. How about one shiny gold piece for you?
Make it two and you got a deal.
You've got a deal, Douglas, but only if you deliver information. It's 1 point for work, 2 for delivery.
Hey, ooh. Douglas always delivers.
I love that motto for us, Douglas. Douglas delivers. I'm going to hold you to it, Douglas.
You better. Let me see what I can do. I'm going to call a couple of my friends and see what I can find out.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
As it's cutting off, you hear the beginning of some call that Douglas like, hey, what's up, Tony? And the call cuts off.
Tony.
Sweet. And so Douglas is now going to be searching for Count Blood to see what he can figure out.
I'm gonna go.
Think about this time.
Tried your quiche.
What?
We got a long road ahead of us. You gotta eat some of your quiche. It's gotta give you the strength to keep going.
Right. Yes. And he reaches for a spoon and then goes to fork and then doesn't really know which one to take. So he settles on spoon. And this is very odd for a man who knows his way around tools. So you see him take the spoon and kind of like awkwardly take a big spoonful and just... Are you going to watch me the entire time?
I don't have to. I'm sorry. I don't.
Liana is watching.
You know, you don't have to have an quiche if you don't want it.
No. You're right. We should energy source. Absolutely.
But if you don't want it, you just
Awkwardly
it's okay.
slides the spoon in the wrong way.
So right as you very awkwardly slide this spoon in the wrong way, the tavern keeper walking back in with this bucket of paint. I've just finished reap what? What? Oh, right. I forgot. I thought that was a bad dream. Right. Okay. Walks back over, like puts the paint can back. Claps you on the back, Elvis, as though you have been friends for a very long time.
I hand him back his apron and go like, "Hey, boss, you know they really like the quiche. That salesman couple."
Stops you and says, "No, you keep that. You keep that. I've got another." He like goes and gets another apron that also has the thirsty sheep, and he takes the paint and like scratches it out and like paints Sleepy over like on top of where it used to say thirsty. Puts it on. Right. Have they all paid for the quiche?
I'm gonna pay for these guys, just because they're my friends.
All right. Well, hey, listen, it's your gold. Is there anything else I can get for you, friends?
Liana's gonna look around, having finished like her quiche, and be like, "Thank you for your hospitality, friend. But I do believe it might be time for us to move along."
Well, the door's that way, so don't let
And
me.
with that, I would say, with that, Liana's going to. Can she head back to Jason's and see if he's still in his house, like chilling?
Sure. Yeah.
She was gonna head that way. Yeah, that's where I'm going for now.
Sweet. So you take off out of the bar. You see freshly painted Sleepy Sheep Inn and Tavern swinging on the sign. You walk back. It's not very far to Jason's house. You walk back over there, and yeah, you look in. He's sitting at his table working on something. At his table, you see him through the window. Are you walking straight into his house?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk straight in his house. Liana, I think, has decided in her head that she should get to the capital, whatever the fuck.
Blutzge Stadt.
Yeah. That's where Liana has decided that she thinks that maybe they should get to try to find this envoy, and I think that she would think Jason could help them get there. So she wants, is his door open or closed?
Closed.
Closed. So she kind of wants to just like lean against the door frame and like wrap the door like and knock.
Great. He's gonna come to the door and open it and see you, and he's gonna be like, sorry, can I how can I help you?
She's gonna be like, "Good morning, Jason.
Liana?
So you do remember me. That's good. That's good. No lapse in memory and such. So you're still interested in experiments in science and finding things out, are you not?"
Yes, that's correct. I am. Yes.
How did you feel about going on a little adventure in the name of science and leading my friends and I to the capital, per se?
Lead you to the capital, huh?
That is what I said, darling.
When would you want to leave?
Ideally immediately, but if you have something you need to be done first, we could always help and then go, but ideally immediately. Remember, darling, we did help with that painting, and we asked nothing of you for it.
Yes, you are so kind about that, and I appreciate it tremendously. To save myself what I imagine will be a rather interesting conversation with the rest of your friends, if I say no, And the fact that I think I have something that I can accomplish in Blutzge Stadt. Okay, I can't leave immediately. I've got to wrap some things up here. It shouldn't take me too long, maybe a couple of hours, but then yeah, now listen, if we're going, we're going to have a group meeting about how that's going to look if that's the case. And if anybody starts acting up, the deal's off. You got me?
Fair enough, Jason, darling. Fair enough. Good luck with that group meeting. They are all in the tavern, so maybe before you start whatever you have to do before we leave, you can have a little chat with them, and then they can get their things together while you do what you have to do before we leave. What is it that you have to do before we leave?
It's my business.
Fair enough. Care to come to the tavern?
All right. Yep. Let's go. We'll go to the tavern. He's gonna follow you back to the tavern where I suppose the rest of you are sort of sitting.
While Liana went out, who's sitting closest? Iap did the reverse Liana, where he went from trying to be delicate and now is full on shoving the quiche in his mouth, dead ass with his hands. It's so good he can't get enough of it. He's like reaching in other people's plates and shoving it down his throat.
Atlas is trying desperately to stop you.
It's not working.
It's not at all. So.
And while he's doing that, who's sitting closest to him? Would it be
Probably
Elvis or Vess? He's gonna,
Probably.
as he's like wiping his mouth, he's gonna go, "How the fuck did you get out the painting?" Shoves more food in his face.
We found a paintbrush and like a tube of paint, and Liana just painted us an exit.
Freeze. Slow turn. Slides.
It's mirrored by Atlas, who is also like, suddenly very intrigued. So the two heads just turn at the same time.
I love it.
Pushes the plate away, wipes off all the food from his face, and goes, "And where is this?"
I think she still has it.
Up, out, moving. Off to find Liana.
Great. I think I'm gonna line that up. As you open the door, you are opening it straight to Liana with Jason in so it's one of those like awkward, like the person is also trying to open the door when you open it. Right. So you like pull it and it's like, oh, and now you're face to face with Liana, but then behind her is the very tall frame of Jason.
Eyes light up when he sees Liana, goes to say something, sees Jason, shuts down.
Good to see you.
Steps aside. Steps aside.
I love it.
Liana sees some crumbs on Aya's apron, and she just like brushes it off gently and keeps going into the inn and goes, darlings, dear Jason here has decided to lead us to the capital, which we have decided.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Is Declan gone or is he still here?
Declan is still here.
Whoa.
Right,
I am. Hold on.
Because all I remember hearing is there's nobody in the inn except for us.
No, there isn't anybody, but Declan has come back in after repainting the sign, and so he's hanging in there.
Okay. I thought it was just the homies at this point in time. So Liana wants to, while she's brushing the crumbs off Aya, be like, I do believe we need a little team meeting, possibly back upstairs in our room.
A team looks
Yes,
at.
Jason. She's gonna just be like, yes, Jason's part of the team now. Possibly, maybe, if you can all play very nicely. And she's going to tap him on the chest and just keep going right to Elvis. And kind of just like to Elvis and like go up the stairs. And when she looks over her shoulders, she's gonna like head nod to Vess and like zappy that and go upstairs because we should still have the room for a little bit.
Oh, Elvis is gonna turn to the bartender and just be like, "Hey, could I just go on like a 30-minute break real quick?"
Yeah, sure. You can have you're on your break, but this will be your break. Okay, you don't.
Oh, absolutely. I got you.
What's
Don't
the
even worry.
shift?
You're gonna need to quit by the end of this session. I hope you know
got
that.
it, boss. You got it, boss. Don't worry.
All right, see you in 30.
See you in 30.
Lunch when you get back. All right, we're gonna talk about the menu for lunch when you get back.
Oh, don't worry. I got a great idea for a Reuben.
Reuben, I don't know what that is, but it sounds fantastic.
Goes upstairs.
Great, so you guys go upstairs. You're still...
I was gonna say,
Jason?
everyone, Jason and Iup are just staring at each other.
Jason is giving you the very white guy,
Whereas Iup is giving the very, like, dead eye, like...
Can I come in, or are you... All right. Okay.
What did she offer you?
You guys playing nice, and the trip to Blutzge Stadt. Considering the last time that we spoke, you got about as close as, and he like leans in and like is sort of whispering, goes, last time we talked, you got about as close as you could to threatening me. So here's the deal, okay? I play nice with you. You play nice with me. Yeah? Deal? I'm not trying to end up on the wrong side of your metal arm, buddy. Okay? I get that we have different ideas for how things should work, but I don't want to die over it. He like puts his hand up. Listen, if you don't want me on the team, you say that right now. I will go back to my house and I will not think twice about you or your little crew again. Is that what we're doing?
All I asked is what she offered you.
Yeah, but then you did the whole this thing. You did the whole like keep
The
staring
whole
at me.
what I said
Like this.
nothing.
Right, and that's what's freaking me out. So
Okay.
you have like this
All
stare.
right. Yep. All right. Fine. Right. Yep. And he's not even saying deal. He's just moving upstairs. Like, he's not emotionally, he can't handle this. He does not have a wisdom high enough to have this conversation.
Atlas follows quickly behind you and it's just like, "You're right, sir. If he does anything nefarious, then we can always try some new experiments, can't we?"
He'll quickly message him on his little thing and goes, how many times am I supposed to eat again during the day? What?
It varies from person to person, but they say at least 2 to 3 is ideal.
God, fuck. Okay. 2 to 3. Okay.
2
right.
to 3.
2
2 to 3.
2 to 3. 2 to 3. 2 to 3. Okay.
And sometimes snacks. Don't forget about snacks. Those can be fun as well.
Why do we have to constantly eat?
It's an energy thing, sir. I think
That's
it's more-
fuel. Fuck, it's fuel. Stop it.
It's fuel. It's fuel. Don't forget it. Fueling the machine.
Fine. And then he'll just like angrily storm into the room, sit in his corner, and pull out his schematic book.
Great. Atlas is up there. Elvis is up there. Leon is up there. Vest, did you go up there as well?
Yeah.
So everybody's up there. Jason sort of enters. He like stoops beneath all of the doorways in this place. So like as he comes to the room, he like opens the door and like has to like stoop underneath the door frame to get in, and sort of like brushes his hair out of his face, which is kind of like a mess. And he looks around and he goes, "All right. So Leon."
I feel like Liana would interject and be like, Jason, before you begin, Jason, darling, before you begin, let me have a word with my darlings. And she's gonna look at the crew and be like, so, from what I'm thinking, we have 2 decisions. We can go after Count Blood, which our dear friend Douglas has informed me has gone west somewhere. However, I do have Douglas on his trail. Or we can look for the convoy, which I think probably is headed towards the capital. But we're going to need a guide. I feel like Jason owes us a favor due to the whole painting incident. And he has agreed to help us. However, we all have to play nice, me including, don't worry, but she's going to like look directly at Iop.
You can just, it's very much the anime, like, you know, when the glasses are like blanked out,
Yeah.
like the light is shining off. It's very much that, where he just nods, but the glasses flash as she slides them up.
And then she's just gonna be like, and that's all I have to say on the matter, but I'm going to leave it up to a team vote. Jason, darling, you have the floor.
He shuts the door to the room behind him, looks each of you in the eye, very inquisitively, going from person to person, and goes, "What are you doing here?"
I work here.
No, in the inn.
God damn it.
What are you doing in this country? What are you doing in Sangreal?
While we're answering, Jason, can I use my read the room knack? I have to spend.
Ooh.
I spend 10 minutes observing facial expressions, body language, and vocal intonation so I can detect minute details which give me insight into the creatures within 30 feet of you. For the next minute, we can direct your focus on any one creature. I'm going to direct my focus on Jason to see that I can see within 30 feet. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, doesn't speak, it's unaffected. So he has some intelligence, so we don't have to worry about that. I can learn the surface thoughts of him, what's most on his mind at that moment. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's great, Kara. Fuck.
I want to read Jason since he was like sus about what he's got to do before we leave. I'm not going to hound him about it because that's definitely not what my character would do, but she is going to keep an eye on him. Like this is what she does. She stalks and collects people and monsters. So she wants to, while everybody's answering Jason, she already had this conversation with Jason, so she's not going to have it again. So she's just gonna lean up across basically the door frame she's on right now, and she's just gonna like braid her hair into tiny little braid while everybody's answering, while she's reading the room.
Okay, first of all, incredible. Second of
Yes,
all, did
Kara.
you said you get their surface thoughts? Is that correct?
Yeah, like his like little inner monologue.
Wow. Okay. All right. Incredible. Incredible. Do you want to hear that now, or do you want everyone to answer and then to hear what his thoughts were?
I want everybody to answer, and then I want to hear his thoughts.
Great. Okay. All right. So
especially as they're answering, his thoughts about their answers as well.
Okay, I'll give you the surface level thoughts as they're answering. I think before they answer, the first thoughts in his brain are along the lines of, these people aren't supposed to be here. What is the ulterior motive? What are my options? How dangerous are they? What do I do if things go wrong? I've got to get this stuff back to Blutzge Stadt. How trustworthy are these people? Who is she? Who is she? Keeps sort of repeating in his brain without necessarily, there's no like specific identity link to it. It seems like he's trying to remember somebody that he thinks somebody here is familiar, but he's not sure why. Those are the surface thoughts you get on the front end. What do you guys say as he levels that question towards you, though?
I don't think Vess would say anything.
Yeah, I think Elvis would look at IOP and just be like,
Why me?
the de facto leader.
Yeah, Jason's also.
He's not the de facto leader.
As you gesture to IOP, Jason's surface thoughts immediately are, why do I always have to talk to this fucking guy? Turns back, looks, and goes, yeah.
We are here to retrieve something.
Listen, okay, I get it.
Okay, nope. He doesn't respond that way. That was a very Chris way to react, so he just sits there and with that statement.
I understand that you do not trust me. Fair enough. Okay? I wouldn't trust me either. No way. No chance. I get it. I do. Okay? But if we are going to be on the same team, if you want me to help you accomplish a goal, I have to know somewhat what that goal is. Okay? At this point, you have a lot of insight into who I am. I have very little insight into who you are. Probably the way you prefer it. But I'm not going to be helpful if I don't know what's going on. And me being helpful means I don't die. Do you see how that benefits me? Right? Give me something.
We are here to retrieve someone.
Okay. That's helpful. Immediately, Liana, the surface thought that you pick up is they're after the envoy. They're after that entourage. You hear the name. He thinks they're after Ralph. And he looks back and he goes, "Who are you after?" You know what? That's fine. You don't have to answer that. Is it someone from here? Is it someone not from here?
He gestures to Vess, the golden angeled woman on one side. He gestures to the devil horned Elvis on the other.
You're not from here.
And says, "Someone from the outside. And I think that should be sufficient enough for you, considering there aren't many of us clearly in here."
Well, if I were you, I would have led with that, because there was a rather large envoy that came through here.
I hate this man.
There was a rather large envoy that came through here. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Oh, no, don't do a Chris. Okay, so I'm not gonna react as Chris would. What I'm going to react as is as Iap, and he says, "Iap, look at me. He can't even stop it, but the rolling sound of thunder, he thaumaturgies off in the distance, and it doesn't come from his arm, it doesn't come from his leg, it doesn't come from any machine, just a slight sound of thunder rolls as he says, "Iap, look at me," and his eyes slowly raise, and he stares directly at him.
Liana, the surface thoughts that you get are immediately, what the fuck is this guy? Was that him? Is he a warlock? Is he connected to some kind of thunder patron? How could he have pulled that off? He's gonna kill me. But he doesn't break eye contact. And he goes, "Right. Okay. I'll take you to Blutzge Stadt. And that'll be that. All right?"
So Liana, I would say Liana at this point is going to like look around at everybody, make eye contact with everybody, and be like, "So, as I said, I will lead this to a vote. We could dispose of Jason here, or we could use his help. What would it be?"
What does he want?
Well, I believe he just said that he would help us.
In exchange for what? And he hasn't broken eye contact with Jason the entire time.
So at this point, I would say at this point, Leanna's going to look at Jason for his response.
This is the second time in 2 days that you have gotten as close as you can to threatening my life. Whether that's justified or not, I don't know. Okay? But I really do not want to end up on the wrong end of whatever it is that you guys have going on. Liana, the surface thought that you hear is, I gotta get this back to Blutzge Stadt.
So at this point, Liana's gonna she wants to interject and be like, boys, enough of your, and she wants to just look down at their crotches and go, measuring contest. When it comes down to it, Jason owes us a favor due to the painting. That's why he's doing it. It's either that or I burn down his cottage. So
I thought I made it clear I was doing this because I wanted to survive. I don't know that that's not coming across, but you guys.
That's what I said about the cottage burning to the ground, Jason.
Hand is up in agreement.
There we go.
That's one for a yes. She's going to look at Vess and Elvis and be like, "And you, darlings?"
Elvis will be like, "Yeah, that's fine. My break's over. I'm gonna go make the lunch rush so we can get out of here." I'm gonna go downstairs.
To the side, the way she does in her wolfish way, and be like, "As much as I would love another delicious lunch, I believe you're going to have to disincline the request to work here because it's time for us to leave."
Oh yeah, I'm gonna show him one recipe before I go.
I actually do need a couple hours to get my stuff together.
Oh, then great. I got a whole shift to work. Good. Thank God.
At that point, Liana wants to go, "So what's for lunch?"
Oh, look, it's a surprise for you. I think you'll like this one.
She's gonna like put her hands on her hips and just pout and be like, "You have things to do. This is a surprise lunch. Fine, I'm gonna go find a blacksmith." So while Elvis is preparing lunch and Jason's doing what he's gonna do, she wants to wild shape into a bird and follow Jason.
Great. So the last thought that you hear before Jason leaves the room, because he sort of like sees the boat, walks out before even seeing what Bess says. The last thought that you hear,
Ayap looks to her and goes, I think that's rude. Sorry.
Coming from Ayap. Wow.
I was like, sorry about his
Bess would
social
just be like-
behavior.
Bess would probably just be like, he's under a lot of stress. I don't really mind. I don't take it personally.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I hate him so much. Want him to die of natural causes that maybe I had something to do with.
Oh, before like the Jason leaving and me turning into a bird, she wants to be like, Jason, meet us back here for lunch. You have 2 hours.
Copy that.
All right, and then he leaves. She wants to like look at the team and like turn into a bird in front of them and fly out the window and follow him so they know what she's doing.
Okay, so as you fly out the window, you see he does just sort of like go back to his house and start packing up what looks like research. But the thing that you hear as he sort of like, well, I guess you're still within 30 feet, huh? And that
Yeah, I can listen. I can hear him the whole time. Yeah.
So as you're listening, you're hearing a lot of weird thoughts. He's going back. You hear thoughts like, the painting works. The group's here. That's a problem. Maybe not. Figure it out when we get to Blutzge Stadt. Who is she? That doesn't matter. Okay, I get my stuff together. The odds that they kill me on this trip are decent. How do I back up my stuff? How do I make sure, even if they do kill me, my stuff doesn't get destroyed? And he starts writing a second copy of what looks like notes. And I think as you hear his thoughts, you do hear him sort of running through the notes. They're notes about, this is insane. They're notes about the painting. And he's writing these notes down about this painting. He's talking about how the dimensional rift works, the entrance exit works. It's safe, viable means of transportation, and that the theoretically this is proof that the plan works. And those are the thoughts that you're hearing as he copies down a second set of these notes. And puts them in sort of like a folder and tucks it behind the painting, which you see he approaches with like a prod from the fireplace and sort of like moves up and then like sets the painting, the notes behind the painting, and then like sets it back down with that fire stick prod, and then starts packing up his clothing and stuff. So then the thoughts become a lot more like, how many pairs of underwear do you think I'll need? I don't want to bring pants. I don't know if I want to bring pants. Maybe I bring shorts. I don't know. I never wear shorts, but I feel like maybe it'd be smarter to have them.
Do I need a nice dinner top?
Liana rolls her eyes in bird form.
Yeah, this is you hear the entire I've got to pack for a surprise trip monologue for the next 2 hours as he decides what to put into his suitcase. What does everybody else do?
I'm cooking the Reuben. I'm showing.
Oh, I'm getting a Reuben tomorrow. I don't care where.
Right.
I to the list of shit for the cookbook.
What's I up to?
Oh, I didn't want to cut up. I cut off Val. So I'm gonna let Val finish.
Oh,
I'm just cooking a Reuben. That was all I was gonna say.
I didn't know if you want to like elaborate anything else you added on the Reuben. So.
Oh, the classic stuff. You got the sauerkraut. You got the corned beef, and just a nice little Swiss cheese.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Two.
Okay, I wanted to roll to see if I felt like the sleepy sheep would have these ingredients. I was like, I just don't. Natural 20. So everything that you want This guy, Declan has been ready to upgrade for
He's
so
been
long.
waiting for the right sous chef.
He's been waiting for the right employee, and you see.
Oh no! And now she's gotta quit.
As you're helping him, like he's helping you cook, you see like sort of like tears welling in his eyes a little bit as you make this Reuben. Roll a performance check or a survival check, whichever you would prefer.
Okay, that's a 18 with my modifier.
These are really good Reubens. And you sort of make them. It's not like a lunch rush necessarily. There's a couple of people that come through here. It looks like the people that work in the farms are coming through here. But as they're eating these Reubens, you see a couple of them like go back outside and get other people to come in and order food. And so for a moment when you have a break, Declan comes over to you and like puts his hand on your shoulder and he goes, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to this place."
Oh Jesus! This is gonna be his villain origin story.
He like sort of sniffles for a minute. He goes, "Thank you,
No.
thank you."
Hey, I'm just happy to help.
He's
Claps
the
you on the
BBG.
shoulder, and
I think I'm gonna stay here.
helps goes back to helping make the Reubens, which are fantastic. You've got people coming in and they're just like, you see the old lady that you saved from the painting comes. She goes, "Oh my goodness, this sandwich is incredible," and her son's like, "It actually is pretty good. Nice
Is
job."
Luna there?
The cat is there. The cat does stop.
Mayor
by.
Luna.
Of course she is.
Give Luna a Reuben.
Luna does not know what to do with a full Reuben, but does take some of the corned beef and
My
flip
cat
it.
would totally eat a fucking Reuben.
Like
Rip
as
it
a
off my
sandwich. Luna plays with the corned beef for sure. Eats a little bit of it. Not 100% sure what to do with the rest of it. Just sort of like smacks it around, but is having a good time for sure. Definitely enjoys the texture.
Love it.
Vess, what are you up to?
Are you eating a Reuben?
That's the only question.
Probably. I feel like she
Liana
probably
will
would've just-
return for a Reuben. She's not
I think
missing
she
lunch.
probably would have just gone downstairs and watched Elvis cook. Just
It's a sight.
out
With
there.
that performance check, it's a sight. I mean, Elvis looks like she was born to be a chef in this moment. Like it's very professional. And Declan is making a hell of a sous chef as well. Definitely serving up the trays, taking orders, coming back, getting ingredients. They make a good team. Yeah, they make a really good team.
Why you gotta say it?
sad.
I'm gonna stay here forever. This is the rest of the campaign for me.
This is it.
It really is cooking mama.
Yep.
Yes, it is. That's what we spend the rest of the campaign doing. I'm here for it. We just stay in the sleepy sheep and see how much business we can accumulate for the sleepy sheep.
We solved the quest because the right person comes into the bar.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
The Duke's son walks in. I heard there were great Reubens.
Yeah, right. I need, and you just see like an order pop. It's like the most complicated order, and it's like, all right, like crack your knuckles,
Got this.
see what we can do.
Nat 20.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, what are you up to?
He's going to go with Atlas to where he saw the large construct.
Okay, so that's gonna be like a trek. Like that's a ways out there. Do you want to?
How many hours? We had two hours, right? Is 2
Yeah, you
hours
got
enough?
2 hours. I'd say you could get there within 2 hours for sure. It's I think probably somewhere between 5 to 7 miles out is about where he saw it. So I'm gonna say, I don't know, you guys kind of walk and jog it. Yeah, you can get there and back in 2 hours.
I would say Ayap would turn to Vess before he left and just said, "I'm walking."
Be careful.
Doesn't know what to do with that, moves outside.
Atlas like interjects as you start to walk and goes, "We will, ma'am. Don't worry. I'll take good care of him. I'm coming.
He's already
Yeah, so immediately, I'm coming.
Can I hand Atlas a to-go Reuben?
to go sandwich.
He tries to grab. Hold on.
Oh wait, it would skew.
Oh
With an 18 minus 2,
Yes.
18 minus 2, He gingerly grabs it with his knife fingers.
Like a claw machine!
Right, it like starts to cut into the bread and he's like, oh, no, and sort of like moving it back and forth. And so he's running so awkwardly out the door, gets to the door and does a very awkward like hip opens the door while someone else is trying to come in. And so there's just a very awkward exchange there.
Can Liana be the one trying to come in because she knows it's
Absolutely. So you're trying to come in and I was like, oh, no, sorry. Oh, no, you come. No, of course, no, you come in.
She's gonna like limbo under his claws. And she's still fascinated with his claws and the fact that she can't get hers that long. So she just like reaches up and like kind of like and like shrugs her shoulders and like you can tell that she's like pouty about it and like slinks up to the bar and she's like she just wants to look at Elvis and go, this smells amazing, please can I have 2 and 1 for the road, also a giant cold pint of ale, please, after just listening to Jason ramble about underwear for
The last thing I heard Jason say before you left was he was like, okay, if I bring my red shirt and I bring my blue pants, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That's not an outfit. I gotta figure something else out. That's the last
At that point in time, Liana was fucking done. She flew away and like she literally like wild shapes in air between bird and thing and like lands walking as dramatic as possible, like, and just like that's how she lands in front of Atlas, like bird to person, like, please give me a drink immediately, oh my god. And she like smells that Reuben in Atlas's hand and like thought about taking it, but she's like, no, he's very polite to us.
As you wild shape and land, you hear a couple of people who are walking around go, "You realize there was a druid here? Interesting." And one of the guards goes, "No, I don't think that I realized there was a druid here either. It's very interesting. Oh well, I guess you can never say what happens in the Evermoore." And you walk into the bar. Atlas is chasing after Iop. Declan is pouring this tall pint of ale for the sandwich, but we will cut over to Iop and Atlas as you will say that you land in the spot where Atlas saw Prometheus, and will just sort of gesture over to an area, and you can see these large footprints. I'll say, without a perception check, because of your familiarity, you know that these footprints are larger than they should be, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Much larger. And Atlas sort of gestures over to them and goes, that's where I saw him.
How did this happen?
I don't know. I don't know what they've done. They've changed him, though.
That's not going to happen to you.
It's all right, sir. You don't have to make me a promise you can't keep.
It doesn't even turn to look at him and says, "It's not a promise. It's facts." And he's going to keep moving forward.
Sir?
What?
I should just like to say that even if they did do something of that nature to me, which of course they won't, because scientifically it's impossible, he says with sort of like you can see sort of a smile, just a little hint of one on the edge of his face. Whatever they do, and whatever they've done, it doesn't change who I am, sir. It won't change who he is either.
Of course. Your chemical makeup is still the same.
Right, sir. Exactly what I meant. Are you curious to know what he looked like, or would you rather not?
Tell me everything. I have to adjust my sketches, apparently.
So he's going to describe to you a figure. This is the figure.
That doesn't look like him at all.
Right.
So then, what? Iop goes,
wait, you said it was him, though.
The best I can figure. It's as if they've taken him and tried to build him into something else, is what I think, sir.
Ooh, that's not good. Not good. And Iap is gritting his teeth as he says, "And who do we think this is?"
Sir,
Any idea?
I don't know, but I will say that when I saw his eyes, that it was blood magic. Sir, whatever they've done, it's...
Who controls these fucking constructs anyway? The ones that drive the wagon, all of it. Where did they come from? Who runs it?
I don't know, sir.
I know you don't. I'm just sorry. Fuck. Ah! And he's going to just, frustratedly, like, slam his fist into a tree. Realizes he used not his metal one and go, "Oh! Fuck! Ouch!" And he is, like, so confused. What? Oh! What?
Are you alright, sir? That looked incredibly painful.
Ah!
No, right.
Why is
it's bleeding.
Body so fucking weak!
Oh
And
no,
he-
it's bleeding.
I can't
Don't worry.
do
Sir.
anything! I
I've
have
got
to
bandages
feel it!
I've got bandages. Don't even.
And
don't
he's-
even-
And
got
by
bandages,
this...
but he's got knife fingers. So
And at this point, without even realizing, he's already flipped into Celestial. And he's going off on a rant. He's like, "It's weak, it's useless, I tried to build it enough, and it's not enough, and I have idiots, and I can't and he's off the rail. Can't stop.
Atlas is just gonna put his arms out really big to try and get himself in your field of view, despite the chaos that's happening. He's like, "I know, sir. I know, sir. I know. This is possibly the worst thing that we've had to do ever. This sucks a lot. This is awful. This is truly awful. Every detail makes it worse. Every single one. Everything that happens is a turn for the worse. I understand.
And as
I don't want to be here either."
And
But-
as he says that, Aya puts his metal hand out onto Addie's shoulder and says, Why did we even try to come here? We
I
should
think-
have stayed down there.
Could you have done that, sir, truthfully?
We should have stayed down there.
No, sir. No, we should not have. And this sucks. That doesn't mean that it will always suck. Sometimes, sir, despite your best intentions, things do get better.
He scoffs.
Now, come on. We're going to be late, and I know you're missing your best friend already.
And with that, he'll just give him a gentle pat on the back and go, You've always been a very kind boy, Atlas.
Well, I can't say I know where I get it from.
He rolls his eyes and goes, Your mother?
Oh, is that right? So you're making that noise again.
It's actually his arm revving up, engine-wise, and it's...
Sir, your arm is making the noise again, sir.
yeah, like anytime he gets frustrated, it just works into hyperdrive.
Sir, you...
Oh
Right.
shit.
Yes,
Sorry,
no,
fuck. Takes out the water vial that's overheated, bubbling, and breaks it open so the water splashes all over. He goes, fuck, never mind. Replace that later. Anyway, paintbrush, paint. I need to fucking see this paintbrush and paint. Portals. Is that what he wants? Is that what he wants? He wants portals? He wants
do you
to
mean,
trans... The boy!
The boy, sir. Do you mean Jason, sir?
Yes, that one.
Why do you suppose he wants anything to do with portals?
He's obsessed with it.
What do you mean?
Painting, it transports people to other places. Portals.
Yes, but as far as we're aware, sir, he just sort of wanted to see how it worked.
That's not how science works. You don't just watch something, observe it, and then go, oh, okay, I'm gonna walk away. You don't try to recreate it. Or you try to function, you try to form something from it, you try to build off of it, build off the information you have. What is it? What does he want? I'll find out.
So, I suppose we should say, I don't know that he knows how we got out. Does he?
That's right. But we do.
Right.
The
So
gold
as
one
far as
told
we know,
me.
He is not in any way concerned with it at all. I mean, for him, it might as well be gibberish.
By the way, which one is her god?
Yes.
Yes, that one.
Oh, I quite don't know, sir. I hadn't gotten around to asking that yet. It seems personal, isn't it? Should I have asked that already?
No, I should have though.
Well, I no, sir. You don't beat yourself up, sir.
No.
It's a personal question, sir.
No. I need to know. I need to know where she stands.
Oh, see, now it's changed. I feel like now you have different motives. When you ask, don't make those motives apparent. Please be personable, right? Ask it as though you care, not as though it is an objective. You understand? I smile when
Right.
you ask it, is what I mean. Sort of
Smile.
like if I were asking it. Imagine I'm asking it, and I would say, Vest, I have noticed quite a bit of connection with the divine. I must know what god or goddess it is that gives you such power. Ask it, use those words exactly.
Excellent. I will do exactly that.
Okay, all right. He seems like a little bit unconvinced. Shall we head back, sir? We can practice. I will pretend to be Vest, and you can pretend to ask me what my goddess is. And he sort of like folds his arm back in a really weird way that like kind of creates a semblance of wings. He's like, look, I've become this.
At that, Ayup turns and corners him and goes, "Who are you?
No, not like that, sir.
Whom do you serve? Do you even understand, child?"
Okay, we've got a lot of work to do. On the walk back. First of all, as the volume is like lowering as you walk off, you know. First of all, sir, if you ever corner someone like that again, I will attack you. Okay? Not okay. Unless they're an enemy, don't do that. No, that is right out. Second off, do not ask someone, whom do you serve, as though they are serving some sort of evil demon.
Well, half of them are!
You can't say it like that. You have to approach it delicately. I mean, for them, maybe it's not an evil demon. Maybe it's a fun demon. You know, you don't know these things.
They're all demons! As he's raging.
You guys walk up, and we'll imagine that you guys have just sort of arrived back to the inn, sort of at the end of this lunch rush. Leon has already had 3 Reubens with a 4th one sitting in a little to-go container. Vest is, I imagine, are you still watching the cooking process happening?
Yeah.
It has only gotten more intense as Declan has like made it very clear that he's sort of like in his mind adopted Elvis as like an adoptive child. Just every time
really
he sees
break
Elvis,
his heart when we leave.
just walks by every couple of and like does that shoulder clap and goes, "Doing great, doing really great. I'm proud of you."
Thanks, boss.
No. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Rihanna's gonna be like, "You're going to have to stop calling him boss. It's almost time to go.
But he said he's proud of me.
You can always come back when we're done."
All right, well, that's it for the lunch rush. I suppose we should start talking about dinner. Oh, although I guess your shift's almost over. I guess you could probably take off if you'd like.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to. My friends need me on this quest.
Gonna have to what?
I'm gonna have to go.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'll
right.
be.
No, of course, no.
No!
Look.
No, it's all right. Yeah. No, you've got to go.
I will be back.
That's okay. Yeah, you will. You will be back, and I'll be looking forward to it. Until you get back, hang on to the apron, and be thinking of good ideas for when you get back.
You want me to write down the recipes before I go?
No, I don't think I could do them justice, and I'd hate to mess them up. So I no, but don't forget them. Right? Okay. You're off the clock.
I go out to shake his hand.
He shakes your hand. And even without a perception check, I think you can feel like a slight tremble as he's just very sad for a moment. And he's like, gonna go clean up the kitchen. It's a bit of a mess, lunch rush. You better get out of here, though. You don't want to leave too late, do you? Got a quest. And he's gonna go back into the kitchen and start cleaning up the skillets and stuff. It just starts washing everything down.
Soft sobs.
If we don't leave right now, I'm going to cry.
Liana wants to just like scoop her Reuben off the bar and put it in one of her various pockets in her cloak. Is Ayop back? Are you guys back? You're in
They've just pulled back up.
Vess is probably hugging Elvis right now.
I was like, she wants to look at Elvis and be like, I suggest you wrap theirs and I guess Jason's because it is time to get on the road. And she's gonna head out and like kind of just lean on the outside of the inn and wait for everybody to like get together.
Gently folding my apron and putting it in the bag.
Vess definitely gave Elvis like the biggest hug ever.
I'm crying.
Just a beautiful moment of like Vess and Elvis having this hug while Declan washes dishes, and you just hear him singing softly to himself in the background. What is he singing?
My
I'm
heart
never
will go
gonna
on.
dance again.
No, not that one. That's somewhere only we know.
We know. He sings into his skillet in the soapy water. And Jason appears from his house with his little suitcase slung over his shoulder. And he's crossing closer. But I should say the skill that you use to read surface thoughts, how long does that last?
Not long. It would be over by now.
Okay, great. So he comes back with his suitcase, looks at the motley crew, sees the hug happening. Are we ready to go? Or I can wait.
No, we should
No,
go
we're
now
ready.
before I cry.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I think the first place that we on the road is going to be a town called Eisenberg. We're going to stop and stay in Eisenberg for a little bit, if that's all right. But that's going to be a couple days walk, unless you guys have a ride that I don't know about.
No, I do believe we'll be walking, darling.
Great. Lovely. Okay. All right. Well, let's hit the dusty trail then, I guess.
Liana's gonna hand him
blaze.
I would say Liana's gonna hand him one of the like to-go Reubens and kind of just like head off towards like the general direction he motioned to like get everybody moving towards the destination.
Great. So
I
he's gonna
think
walk.
Whenever like Vess comes outside, would she notice Iap's hand?
Damn it.
Give me a perception check.
No!
Give me a perception check. And are you trying to hide that hand?
If he sees her looking.
Okay, so then I guess roll a deception against that perception.
Oh, wait, no. If my deception fails, I have to use intimidation again. No!
Roll deception. You're trying to hide it. Roll deception.
Why do I have this thing? Yeah, that's a 14.
21.
Oh, Jesus. Do I have to roll? When a check fails, immediately roll intimidation.
You do need to roll an intimidation check.
It's part of my curse. Oh, that's great. Great. That's fine. It's a 2. It's a 2.
Okay.
So it's the most like, how would you describe your 2 intimidation check?
Iap sees her looking and he says,
I've handled it.
and its blood is just slowly dripping down his fingers.
Atlas is gonna whisper into you, "That's not terrible, sir. You've done worse." Yes, no, we had a bit of an accident. I dropped the Reuben and tried to catch it, and unfortunately, so did Iap. And as you can see, he sort of like clicks his knife hands together. Not perhaps my best idea. Sorry about that.
Okay, we got more.
I think
I was talking about his hand, not the Reuben, but I appreciate the sentiment.
And can they do this while we're walking too, just to make sure that we're on the road?
Yeah. I think Vess would just sort of laugh and then like just take Iap's hand and do healing word and fix it. She just put her grab his hand and fix it.
I think he flinches, like, you know, there's an automatic flinch away. And then he's just analyzing her. And he goes back to the conversation with Atlas. And from the words that Atlas used, he goes, "You are divine."
Technically, yeah.
Who do you celebrate with your magic?
Medela. She's the goddess of healing.
Can I do a history on Medela?
Yeah, I think it would be more of a religion check, unless
Religion?
you just. Well,
Oh,
I
actually,
guess
wait, no. Let's do religion because I'm proficient with gods.
Okay.
Alright, so that's going to be 13 plus my intelligence mod, which is a 4, gets me to 17, plus my, I'm proficient in it, 17, 19, plus my d4, because it's a god. 19. Where's my d4? 21.
21. Okay, with a 21, I think you know that Medela is a god that is very ancient. And where a lot of like modern clerics and warlocks and even paladins have started to sort of draw a lot of their magic more from fae spirits than they have from like what would be more traditionally thought of as gods. Medela is more of a traditional god that she was worshipped as sort of like not even just like as a god of healing, but sort of as a light, a sort of like a someone who would like guide the way, was essentially what Medela was sort of thought of as. Like in her mythology, she sort of comes into the darkness and sort of brings light to people in a very real sense of like healing people from curses and all of that sort of thing. So I think that when you hear Medela, I think you realize that not only is this like somebody who's a cleric, but it's someone who is deeply invested in like the very core aspects of, or at least, you know, the traditional follower of Medela, a cleric of Medela would be very traditionally invested in like healing everyone like at all costs. Like it isn't even like a just healing the people that are close to you or good to you or whatever. It is like just an omnipotent sort of like goal to bring light and healing to like the world.
And if you said Medela was ancient,
Yes.
would this spark anything?
I don't know that it would spark anything as far as like I don't think that you ever would have like met Medela, but you would have known who Medela was for sure.
Okay. And it was neutral. It wasn't.
I would say if anything, it was pretty good. I mean, Medela didn't have enemies,
Okay.
Other than people who were like trying to do things counter to healing. If someone was trying to do something awful, then of course Medela's going to be in the way. But it was never somebody that you like had bad interactions with or anything like that. Like she didn't make enemies. Medela was definitely like the person that you knew no matter what happened was probably going to try and help you out.
Got it. Okay, cool. When she says that, he just nods. Looks back down to his hand and tilts his head and goes, "That it doesn't hurt."
Not supposed to.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that was cute. Jason is going to walk back in.
No!
This is the best, like, counterbalance.
I was gonna say, they've been walking, I think, right? Like, we've all
Right,
been
Jason
walking.
sort of like comes back. Well, okay, so Jason's gonna catch you before, like, we'll imagine this conversation happens like right at the doorway of the inn, because Jason's gonna walk back in and be like, I don't know that I made this clear. I should make this clear. You can't look like this when we're walking around. So do you have like you got disguises, right? You got something?
Bess has her cloak on like most of the time. Her wings are pretty well, like, it looks like there's something under it, but you don't necessarily see her wings.
Do you guys have like disguise anything that, do you have like something for like this will be fine. This will be fine. You guys like, do you have like a long sleeve shirt for the metal arm?
At this
The
point,
sleeve
I was-
down?
I would say Liana just wants to come up behind Jason and be like, "Oh, and how are we going to hide the giant metal man?"
He's coming. At the
What did
site.
you think we were going to do? Hide him in a closet while we were gone?
I don't know.
Yes, they're all coming.
Okay. You know what? Actually, give me just a moment. He's gonna walk into the bathroom for just a moment.
He's gonna use alter self.
He's gonna go freak out for a minute.
Yeah, you just hear like something shatter from inside the bathroom, and he's just having like, you could just hear the muffled monologue of like, how did I get sucked into this? Couple of things shatter.
Every day I wake up.
Yeah, I mean, you hear that exact. It's just
Really is
different
Adam
Adam
Driver.
Driver quotes.
He is Adam Driver.
He literally is. I love it. If I had the party, I'm like, I'm gonna need this man for the rest of the campaign. Thank you.
Lord Almighty.
And he's gonna come back out, and I think this is what he's gonna look like once it loads.
No.
A little old man.
Comes out looking like this little elvish old
Amazing.
man, and he goes, "Right, well, all right, we should hit the road, shan't we?
What the fuck?
All right, friends, come on, we're hitting the."
Liana just wants to, like, you can tell that, like, she's lost control of, like, her wolf shape a little bit. Her fangs are bigger, her eyes are glowing, and she goes, well, that certainly changes things.
With the, you have got to dial it in. Okay.
And she just wants to, like, look at this little old man and be like, what exactly is about this is dialed in? And how exactly did you do this? I feel like
Okay, all right, we're
We
going to
need
turn
to-
the volume down. We're going to turn the volume down. Right?
she just, like, snarls quietly.
Okay, right, that's better. He's like looking around. There are like other people in the bar. That guard who keeps saying things like, it must be that same druid. I just heard a snarl for a moment. I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. I just feel like I'm losing something, like my grip. Like I'm losing my grip. Bites into a
On a
Reuben.
reality?
Yeah, for him, he's seen like the crow happened for him, and then like the wild shaping has happened, and now the snarling is happening. I think he thinks he's losing his mind, but you wouldn't know that without an insight check. And then Jason, who now looks like a little small old elvish man, goes, "Okay, all right. From this point forward, we are going to draw no attention to ourselves. I don't appreciate that response, High Up.
No, that was Emma. I up his dead face. That was Emma.
We'll dial it in, all right? We're going to draw no attention to ourselves. Oh my God, we're going to die. Okay, all right.
Liana wants to be like, yes, you of old age, soon apparently.
Okay, if you don't stop, like, turning into a wolf and saying things at full blast, they're going to kill us, is what I'm saying. My old age, I did with magic, okay?
The people we pulled out of a magic painting, you think that they don't suspect something already?
They don't know we came out of a magic painting.
The people we did pull out of the painting certainly do know, though.
Got to volume it down. Okay, all right. I'm going to pretend that not everyone knows that, and that we are inconspicuous. Now, I know that's a new term that you've never played with before, but it means...
Inconspicuous? Declan, the barkeep, told us when we got here that you used to yip and yap about your magic painting all of the bloody time.
And no one cared. That's what's crazy. No one cared. It was amazing. And now everyone cares. Okay? So we're going to go back to the inconspicuous thing, right? Which means we talk quietly. We don't, he looks to you, Elvis, pull out brass knuckles. Okay?
He's putting them back.
In the yes, put them back. You can, I don't know, interrogate me at another time. Okay? The wings stay in the cloak. The metal arm, I don't know. You have a metal arm and a giant metal friend. Please be careful with them both. Okay? Looks
I think
at
they'll
Atlas.
notice my horns.
Yes, they've all noticed your horns. Okay? You have... And I don't think that that's the problem. I think it's the brass knuckles and the sword.
Oh, okay.
You know, Okay. Atlas, I'm going to give you a jacket. I'm insane. Reaches into his suitcase and pulls out a jacket, which Atlas
What's that gonna fucking do?
Atlas is gonna try and put it on.
No, he's got knife fingers.
It does not go as badly as it could. It doesn't go great, for sure. He definitely like cuts it up a little bit, but he gets it on. He goes, "Is this better?" Yes.
No, it's not.
It's not at all. No insight check required to know
you look
that
great, Addie.
that Jason is dying on the inside.
Vess is definitely just like, you look great, Addie.
Oh, thank you. As do you, Mom. Well, I suppose we should hit the road, right?
I think Ayap forgot to take his hand out of Vess's hand this entire time, and then he looks down, sees it, snatches it back, like, witch, and then it's gone.
Did you say witch? Is that part of it? Are you a witch?
And he's going to go out the door.
You have to tell me before we leave. I know he's already left. You have to tell me. Are you a witch? Is that part of it? Is that part of the whole thing?
Liana's gonna be like, there's no witches. IOP just has
Don't say that like it's a given. Don't say that like it's a given. Every time I think I have a rap on what's going on with this group, it changes drastically.
Really? Because you just changed into a little old man? Changed it. You went into the bathroom a very hot, tall man and came out a very little old man.
You-
Change it.
He like
And
gets
Liana
ready,
stomps out the door.
he like stops right beside you. Goes, okay, you do not get to say that. You turn into a wolf, okay? You turn into a wolf.
And you like it. And she leaves.
I think I'm the most normal person here.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Jason looks at you and goes, if you pull out those brass knuckles one more time, we will have words.
But I'll have brass knuckles.
I know, I can tell. I know. Please exit this. That tavern keeper is weeping into his dishes.
Oh no.
You just hear from the kitchen. Another love.
No.
All my tears have been used up on another
Oh,
love.
Jesus.
You've got to leave. I swear to God, no one is going to come in here with it. Well, maybe that's a plus. Leave. Go. Go.
I walk out.
Looks to you, Vess. Go. Out. Forward. Out. Go. To the streets where we can be massacred. He follows. He like adjusts his suitcase, which is almost the same size as he is. He is a full 5'3" at this point. And adjusts his suitcase. He's gone from being 6'9" to being 5'3".
And Leanna's crying. She's crying.
She's never gonna recover.
This is not how she wanted to go.
This is not the secret of Sangreal she was fucking looking for.
Right. You guys take off down the road, and the guard at the gate just goes, right, yeah, well, I've never seen any of you in my life. Where are you going? We're going to Eisenberg, you fool! Oh, right, no, sorry. No, right, this way.
Ayap goes, I could have done that. Is that all that needed to be done?
Did you just move? You could be snarky after we leave. His whole face is just beat tomato red as he full power strides out. And he is walking ahead of the group, and the guard looks at you and goes, I don't know what his deal is. Sorry about that.
No.
He didn't get one of the Reubens.
You do that a lot. Is he always like that?
He didn't get a Reuben this morning, that's all it is.
Reuben's roommate. You, the cook, aren't you? Oh.
Yeah.
You're leaving.
I'll be back. I got vacation.
Oh, that's depressing. All right, well, have fun. Where you going?
Well, with them, but just
we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a great evening.
Thanks so much.
Check in on the tavern keeper every once in a while for me.
What do you want me to do?
Just check it. Just make sure he's okay.
Is someone going to attack the tavern keeper?
No, he's having a hard time with me leaving.
Oh, you mean sort of in a therapeutic way?
Yeah.
I'll ask someone else to do that.
That's probably for the best.
Ayap nods in understanding.
Know thyself. It's a quote I live by. Right, well, be seeing you. Have fun. Be safe. Yeah? Hopefully I'll see you soon. Cheers. You guys leave the town. Jason is strutting his way down this road and then turns back to wait on you guys to catch back up. And as you do, you guys start off. You guys are making your way further west in the direction of Blutzge Stadt. As you walk down the road, let's see. Oh yeah, no, it's a pretty pleasant. As far as walking down a road in an under an overcast sky in the foggy grasslands of a place you've never been before, not too bad. Jason doesn't say a whole lot. Are you guys talking with each other as you guys continue to walk? It's going to be about, I'm going to say, 3 days, and we're obviously not going to walk through all of those days. We'll give sort of a recap. And on this day, you don't run into any weird stuff. The journey's pretty pleasant. There's no bad weather really. It's a pretty pleasant walking day. Do you guys have any discussions or anything while you walk, or anything that you would like to be doing as you make this trek?
The first day, Liana is definitely just quietly seething about Jason now being this strange little annoying old man. And
now that you've gotten out of sight of Evermoore, that has changed. He's back to being his 6'9" form now that you guys are sort of out in the wilderness.
She's no longer seething, but she's keeping distance from him because she's like, what do you actually look like? I don't know if I trust your silly ass.
Fair.
But she's so she's in an area that she hasn't been to, so she's just keeping a very close eye on nature, surroundings, smells, anybody that could be coming up on them, and listening to her companions, and she doesn't really know them that well, so she's very into knowing thy enemy and such, but friends close, enemies closer. These people could turn on her at any moment, so she's kind of just ears open, eyes open, keeping to herself, and making her normal witty remarks as she goes, but she wants to continuously goad Elvis the entire time into cooking on the road. She's She's always like, so like lunchtime, dinner time, snack time, second breakfast.
I'm talking to Liana and being like, so I have some ideas for the dinner special at the Sleepy Sheep, and I think I'm gonna try them out on the road, and we'll decide which one's the best one to bring back.
Liana's like fangs start like growing, not in like a scary way, and like you know when dogs get like real happy and their little faces get like they smile, like that's like you see like Liana like who was still seething and questioning Jason's like intentions and what he actually is. So now she's like got like laser focus on all of the meals that Elvis is going to be preparing, but also means like she's now like going to be like doubly protective of her new little buddy.
I think when you start bringing up food, Jason is going to perk up a little bit, but not tune in. I think like he's not going to join the conversation, but he will like sort of like turn back and then just be like, keep walking.
Liana wants to be like, oh yeah, Carrot Boy, do you have some recipes of your own?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Care to share them?
If you guys want me to make some food, I can make some food. Yeah, I mean.
Liana, you're like, I vote Jason's the sous chef today. Now you get to work for Elvis.
Looks at Elvis and goes, all right.
We can also take turns if you'd rather. I don't want to step in on your recipes.
Hey, listen, I'll work with what you got. What are we making?
All right, so I'm thinking tonight, why don't we stick with something real simple? You know, just a nice like piece of probably like a schnitzel, like a fried schnitzel deal.
Okay, sure. Yeah, fried schnitzel.
Fried schnitzel. I believe we can find. I got some mushrooms. I think we could saute up.
You have mushrooms on you?
Yeah, I think we can find some at least. We're in the woods.
Roll me a nature check. Jason will give you the help action, so roll it with advantage.
So Liana would hear this discussion, right?
Yeah. It's
especially since she's like zeroed in on everything food wise right now.
Yeah.
Hang on, I've got some new shit.
Thank God he gave me the help action.
Locate
It's a
plants
60.
and animals for dinner.
Okay, great.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So like so Liana's gonna be like, so I've got a couple of handy tricks. Not in the stove area, but in like the gathering hunting area. If you give me a list of what you're looking for, I might be able to procure it for you.
Okay, so I can make schnitzels with chicken or venison, if you can find either one.
Fair enough.
Probably any kind of meat, in all honesty. It's not. And then if you could find some mushrooms or something like that, hell, if you really could like magically find a potato, that would be fantastic. But I'm not very positive we'll find a random potato out here. But truly and honestly, the mushrooms and the venison or chicken is the main things. I have spices.
Liana's gonna be like, venison and mushrooms it is, and I want to locate plants and animals to find the mushrooms and then hunt down some venison.
Right. Sweet. So you start to look around, and there's not a lot of wildlife around here, which is a little bit weird. There should be more. But after a little bit of searching, you see there's like a cluster of, not even a real full cluster. It's just like a kind of a sparse little happening of trees, really. You see a small deer that has sort of like stopped to eat something off of the bushes there. You see that a ways away from you. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna take out my long bow, I guess.
The cooking episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take out my longbow and shoot like I'm hunting. I don't think I feel like I need to do anything crazy fancy.
Roll an attack.
Oh, that is a 17.
Yeah, that hits. Roll some damage.
All right, bet. So that is a 5, And my dex fucking modifier is a 4/9.
Yeah, sweet. You shoot this arrow off, stick it right in like the neck here, and it sort of like jerks for a second and then drops. Clean shot, clean kill. You got
So
it.
because of like my monster slayer stuff, like I'm able to harvest stuff easily. So not only the venison meat, anything else that I could possibly harvest from the deer.
I think that the things that'll be useful, maybe like, I think you get the antlers. You can hang on to those. Those might be useful moving forward. I think you can have that pelt as well. Other than that, it's pretty much just a normal deer. I will say that the one weird thing you sort of notice about this deer is the eyes sort of have like a deep, like red undertone.
God damn it. What the fuck is wrong with this place?
It was Count Blood. We killed him.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
then I
mission
wanna
accomplished.
She's gonna notice the red eyes. She's gonna bring the deer back to camp and harvest like the meat and stuff there. So like everybody would notice those eyes.
I want to
And
do
while they're
detect poison on it.
Okay,
So,
sweet. And you don't have to roll anything for that. That just happens.
well, okay, so yeah, so I roll a d20, a 10. Where is it? So like identifying a poison or disease is a 10. With a 15, it's an uncommon affliction, and anything above that is like rare afflictions, or 25 is something like super unique. So,
Okay.
So 12.
With a 12, you know that it's not been poisoned. That this is some sort of hard to even really say illness. It seems like it's your best guess would be that this deer in some way or another encountered some form of blood magic and had some sort of a reaction to it. I would say that you're like, in your medicinal opinion, the deer would be safe to eat.
Okay.
But it is an interesting sort of phenomenon.
I think I would probably just like tell everybody that.
Great. So you guys have some deer.
I think over the course of the 3 days, Ayap would have liked to cast Identify on the paintbrush out of view of Jason.
Okay. Roll stealth or deception, maybe.
Could I roll stealth using camouflage?
You can't. How are you camouflaging?
How am I camouflaging? Oh, well, it's just a fucking paintbrush and paint set. So Ayap has a lot of tools. He has a tinker's set, a thieves' tools, he has smith's tools, he has a sewing kit, he has a leatherworking kit. Like, he's just got all the fucking
like,
kits and
camouflage
hobbies.
it. Like, you'll just
Yeah.
like mess with a lot of your other tools and then try and sort of sneak the
Yeah.
paintbrush in there. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll it as camouflage.
Okay, cool. So that would be stealth. 14 plus my mod. 16, 18, 21.
21. Okay.
And how he casts Identify is on the inside of his arm, there's a small compartment that pops open, and a small, tiny little Rolodex is inside. And as he casts it, the Rolodex starts to whirl and the gears turn, and it will flip to the card of what the item is.
Great. So, I think the interesting part is that the Rolodex, as you're casting this Identify, and you don't have to roll anything for Identify. It just happens. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Identify it just happened. Let me confirm that. Let me make sure I'm not cheating.
Okay.
I also, after I cast this, because I am a artificer, I have to roll a fizzle dice. and if I get my spells level or below, then it breaks, and I have to spend time fixing it.
Gotcha.
So I choose one object. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, I learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. I learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, I learn which spell created it. That's
Sweet.
all. I learn a lot.
Sweet. So you cast Identify on this paintbrush and this tube of paint, which I imagine, Liana, you're just willing
They're
to
in
give
my
him?
pocket. How does she see them?
I was gonna say, are you willing to give those to?
Yeah.
You asked? Sorry, I was in the other room.
That's okay. Yeah, so Vess told Iap that you guys got back through the paintbrush and the paint. He would have probably asked you in private if he could identify them.
Oh yeah, she would be like, absolutely, darling, but you will be returning them. Yes.
He goes, absolutely. I just want to know what they are.
And she'll hand them over, no problem.
Okay. And he'll write down on a little card, all the info he gets from his Rolodex so that he can give it to Liana.
Oh man, she totally appreciates that.
She what?
She puts that in the same pocket with it and like always keeps that like little thing.
Just so she knows.
She's got like this like the cloak that I envision like literally has like 100 tiny little pockets in it with like God only knows what. Like she just like is a hoarder. Like
She's a hoarder. Excellent.
Love that. Just hoarder in the cloak. It just like
In the cloak.
jangles as you
that
walk.
now has a hellhound pelt on top of it from Count Doom, by the way.
It does. A very sick edition. A very sick edition.
The drip is real, brah.
The Identify spell works, and the information that you get is that it doesn't have like a name. Like it's not like a magic item that would be referenced somewhere else. But what it does say is that this is it doesn't require attunement necessarily, but that it is sort of reliant on the person who is wielding it in regards to how sort of well they paint, the exit that they want and how large that exit needs to be, like what needs to move through it. So it's sort of reliant on the paint as much as it is the paintbrush. They really are sort of intrinsically linked. So you notice that you've used probably about a quarter of the tube already. And that as soon as this paint is out, it does not like refill. There's no spell that would automatically make more paint. And that as soon as you're out of paint, you're out of charges. But that this is linked to that specific pocket dimension. So this will open a portal to pocket dimension.
Only that one that they went to.
Yes.
Okay.
But can it
Not to
open
other ones.
anywhere else from there?
It seems like wherever you're going back to is like where you came from, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's
So
sort
it's
of
not like
you're-
we can paint it to like home and then we can go home.
Right, yes, you couldn't just make yourself like
Got
a
it.
quick little paint yourself home ticket. But it does absolutely make for a very nice way to disappear if that's necessary.
Okay, great. So it's basically like a teleportation
Yes.
to one specific area.
Right,
Okay,
like
cool.
it's basically like you've got like a couple of charges of like you would guess that each time that you painted an exit, it would probably take a quarter of that paint tube.
Okay. So then we have one trip there, one trip back, and then one trip there again. That's it
Right.
for 3. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yep, he would let Liana know this. And let me roll my fizzle dice real quick. I have to roll anything above a 1. I rolled a 4, so I'm fine. And that's all I wanted to do.
Sweet. Well, you've got that information now. You know exactly how this paintbrush works, for better or for worse, whether that makes you feel more confident or less confident as to what Jason was up to. That is what the paintbrush does. But Kara, I think you were gone, but the Vest cast detects disease. The deer is not like diseased necessarily. It looks like it just came into contact with some like interesting blood magic, and that the meat would be safe to eat. But it is an interesting phenomenon that's occurred, that this deer probably came into contact with something kind of weird.
I don't really have anything that I would help that with. Can I go find mushrooms for the schnitzel?
Sure. I mean, I'll say probably like because you were talking about looking for stuff right around that deer. I'll say that you probably found like a couple of usable mushrooms like right in that same area. Bring that back, and then I guess Elvis, it's up to you. Start chefing it up.
Hells yeah, and
Give me a
I'm getting
performance
help from Jason.
You are. Give me a performance check with advantage.
While this is happening, could
Natural
Leon,
20.
like,
Hey!
Leon wants
Incredible.
to take one of those antlers and like whittle it into like a cooking tool for Elvis, whether she would rather have a spatula or like a tongue fork.
Adorable.
For
Love
this
it.
specifically, a spatula.
I
So
love it.
can Liana like just sit at the campfire like carving and like shaving these antlers into a spatula for Elvis?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Adorable.
I love it so much.
Yeah. I'll just
Look,
say
if you didn't give me advantage, I would have got a 4. So I'm glad you did.
listen, don't thank me. Thank Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
But yeah, I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. You just make like this really nice antler spatula because that sounds awesome, and I want that to happen. So that's gonna happen.
I love that.
I
So
want that to happen.
you've got an awesome deer antler spatula now. I'll have to decide what the stats are for that thing.
Amazing.
But yeah, no, you guys continue on the road. The second day, it's a little bit rainy, which is mildly frustrating, I'm sure. And then that third day is just sort of muggy after the rain. Does anybody want to do anything in those remaining 2 days as you guys sort of continue down the road? You've had this literally life-changing schnitzel. Like it changes the way that you think about what food can be. Sort of like that moment in Ratatouille where the flavor colors are like whirling around and spinning and opening up his mind. That's what's happening for all of you. So I think now moving forward, your palates have been enhanced.
Permanently altered.
At some point in time, Liana would make contact with Douglas and see if he has any information on Count Blood.
Okay, yeah, Douglas comes again. Hey, listen, I've been calling around. Sounds like this guy, this Bay guy, tried to go into Blutzge Stadt, and I don't know what his deal was, but he looked pretty mad. Is what my boys are saying. So
The Count looked mad, you said.
yeah, they said
Did
he
he
was
look injured? Did he look like he was mad because of any burn marks, maybe?
They did mention a burn mark, but I don't think that's why he was mad.
Interesting. Do you still have eyes on him per se, or
I mean, I could call somebody and see. The last we saw him, he was in Blutzge Stadt. You want me to track him in the city?
if you could just keep eyes so once I get to the city, it'll be easier for me to find him, and then you will receive your 2 gold once I find him.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this is a professional courtesy because I want to get the 2 gold. What I'm hearing is that you don't want to run into Count Blood. That's what they're laying down.
Well, perhaps Count Blood doesn't want to run into me or my friends, or maybe I don't want to run into him and I do need to know where he is to avoid him. Either way, you're still employed.
All right, yeah, let me give him I'll make a couple of calls. All right, let me see who I can get a hold of.
Thank you very much, darling Douglas. Until next time.
Yeah, don't mention it. Hey, Marlon, what are you up to? Phone call cuts off. Sweet, so you've got that contact. You know now that Count Blood is somewhere in Blutzge Stadt, which is a ways away from here. Does anybody else want to do anything else before those 3 days of journeying have ended?
I think Jason and I bonded a bit when we were sous chefing, and I'm just like, I'm thinking when I bring the schnitzel worked out really well. So what if we bring that back to the Sleepy Sheep, but you serve it with rice? I think rice would just make it so much better.
Liana wants to go more potatoes.
Potatoes good. It's a
2
good
things.
choice.
2 things. I say, first of all, why not both, right? Second of all,
Both is good.
I don't have a super huge investment in the Sleepy Sheep, but I think that that's a great dish. So I think you're onto something. I mean, listen. Most of my chefing talent, I've got a spell that does mine, right? You've got like natural talent though, so I
I
think.
nothing natural about it. Took a long time to learn.
Well, hey, it can be both. You know what I'm saying? That's like I studied a lot, but I've got to, I lean in that direction. Do you know what I mean? So I just
Yeah,
have,
I got you.
you know what I mean? I feel like you lean in that direction. So
No. Yeah. Hey, man, I really appreciate the help. Like, I just need to bounce off these ideas because when I go back to the Sleepy Sheep, I need to like really wow the crowds.
So I gotta ask you, as far as like mercenaries go,
Mhm.
I feel like you are not checking a lot of boxes. What's up? What's
Like a lot of people put mercenaries into a box, and that's just it's not okay because like we're not a monolith. We're not just like one group of people. We're very different across the board. But there is a lot of stereotypes out there, absolutely, for mercenaries, and I just
Elvis 180.
So
I love it.
you're really turning that table back around, and like, hey, I get it. I am sort of painting with a broad brush, but okay. So let me turn it back around, right? Like, I'm a wizard, but let's say like if you knew I was a wizard and I had a lot of armor on and a sword and was starting to punch people, you might just be like, well, okay, what are you studying as far as wizardry goes, right? Because you're like, that doesn't feel like it lines up. So I'm thinking mercenaries make money like fighting and killing people, and so far what I know about you is that you don't like killing people and you mostly cook. So we're like, so you were like a chef. Were you like a chef for your mercenary company?
So like I did chef for the mercenary company, but I was actually the leader also. And like, I didn't like to kill, but like, that doesn't mean I don't do it. It was a job. Like, sometimes you just get into jobs at a young age and you just gotta kind of do what you gotta do.
So you mean you stumbled into being the leader of a mercenary company? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it was really a family thing. Like my dad was the leader, and then like when he passed, I took over, and like it really wasn't my thing, but it's kind of like a family tradition. You stay with the family job. You got to do what you got to do.
Can we all hear this?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the math ain't math.
Wait, can
but I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Can I do an insight check for like on Elvis because I have proficiency in sensing emotions and motives.
Sure.
So...
Absolutely.
Big liar.
Yeah.
All right, so you're rolling that against, and you're trying to keep that deception up, yeah?
Oh yeah. So
All right.
I guess I'll roll against it.
Roll deception.
All right. The 15.
Okay.
And I think I was doing pretty good too.
Word.
An augmented 20.
I'm a big liar.
Jason as well is gonna look and be like, all right, listen, you don't have to tell me. All right, we'll just leave it at that. All right.
I think Vess probably would just smile at Elvis. I don't think she'd actually say anything. She'd just be like, okay.
Well, this sucks.
Do you guys want to do anything else before you arrive in this city called Eisenberg?
Well, IAP would have loved to question Jason, but his emotional threshold will not allow it. So he just tries to answer them on his own in his journal. Because he's him.
Just write down in large text, what does it mean?
Exactly. Underline, underline, underline.
The paintbrush, question mark, or the paint, question mark, question mark.
He's definitely the deer. We know it's like a side effect, right?
I don't know that you know that. I know that what you know is what Vess conveyed to you, which would be that this deer encountered some kind of blood magic, and so it had a reaction. Whether that's like because it was the sort like somebody cast something on this deer, or it was just like sort of hitting the crossfire of something, and then there was a side of, or what the actual like method of it having this response was.
But it can be transferred to a living creature.
That you would know, yes. So whatever happened was a transfer of blood magic.
Not great. Not great. That's gonna be a problem, I feel.
Great.
Not great.
All bad.
All bad.
Ideal. Not what we wanted.
How can blood magic affect... Never mind. Whatever. This will be his notes. How can blood magic affect something without blood? What the fuck does that mean? Anyway, he's
question mark.
Exactly. Yep. Anyway, that's it.
Sweet. I'll say with that you guys have sort of spent your 3 days, got a little soggy there for a second, and then spent a day getting really muggy and sweaty. And that muggy sweatiness is what you arrive at the city of Eisenberg wearing. So as the sweat sort of drips from your forehead and you are cursing the overcast sky, this city appears before you. Boom! There it is. And you guys are entering from back here.
There's a hole in the ground.
There is a hole in the ground. You see the first thing that you notice, right? Obviously, aside from sort of this like blacksmith shop that shows up on like the right-hand side of the path, is this massive fenced off area, but you can see watchtowers sort of sticking up over the fences. You can see sort of these buildings sticking up, and you can't see the hole at this point, but what you can see is a big mining crane that sticks up over the hole. Other than that, you see like this sort of town laid off to the right-hand side of the road. Off towards the end, you see again, it's sort of a massive like mansion where you can imagine probably the mayor lives. And then Jason, who has turned back into his old man, little elvish form, turns back and goes, "Here we are, the city of Eisenberg." Okay, all right. You guys let me do the talking and everything will be fine.
Oh no. Iap doesn't say that, but he feels it in his soul.
Are you trying to hide that you feel that?
No.
Okay. Looks at you, goes, "Hey, it's true, okay? I know what I'm talking about. We're going to go to the Piddle Paddle, and we're going to get a room. Everyone okay with that?"
Oh no.
Liana just nods, especially because she's a little like anal retentive about her cloak and armor that her mom made for her. So she just wants to like look down at her sweaty, gross self in gear and be like, "Yes, Pittle Pattle, I need a bath and some ale, and I need Elvis to get behind a stove again, please."
I don't think they're gonna let me behind this one.
He's going to walk past. You see like this blacksmith. I guess it's late now, so I don't think that anybody's working the blacksmith shop. You do see like that the crane sort of makes one final movement and stops as you guys have sort of arrived right at the end of the workday. And you hear some of the guardsmen inside just sort of shouting out, "Yeah, that's right, keep it moving. Back into the dormitory. Go. Hey, you, come on, keep moving." And you hear sort of like shuffling as whoever's working inside that fenced-in area it starts moving around. And you do notice that in front of the door to that mining area, there are sort of 2 guards posted up.
What's that?
"Yes, me. Oh, yeah, well, it's a mine. It's a mine with a..." He like lowers his voice. "It's a mine with a iron onyx. Okay? Don't go in."
Iron onyx. Why?
No. Oh, you know what iron onyx is? Oh, well, congratulations. It has a lot of uses, I'll say that. And then he's going to turn around and continue towards the Piddle Paddle Inn, which is located right right here.
Yay!
The Piddle Paddle Inn. Are you guys following him in? Because he's going to go straight for that tavern. Are you guys going in there, or do you guys want to go somewhere else?
She's going into that tavern. She needs food, beverage, and a bath before she loses her shit.
Great.
I'm also following.
Great.
Yeah.
Sadly, though, when I walk in, I want to just be sad that it's not the sleepy sheep.
I will remember you.
It is not.
Missing home.
Following but lingering by the mind. Can I do an Arcana check on Iron Onyx?
You can. I will say this. I think that you
Is-
have. Yeah.
Is it
well,
forbidden knowledge? Considered forbidden knowledge?
I'm gonna give that to you. I think it is. I think it is
Yeah.
forbidden knowledge. Take it.
Fuck yeah.
For those of you in the Piddle Paddle,
24, 26. 26, when that's ready.
okay, with a 26. Also, can you guys see this?
Oh, look at this menu!
You got a menu there. Yeah.
Oh, I want the unicorn elixir for me.
A very,
I need
very
this
good
menu
choice.
sent to the chat.
What's
It's
that? Okay.
adorable.
Here, I'll
I
send
said
it.
I need this menu sent to the chat. I love it.
I will send it to you immediately.
This is so cute.
Just put it for my
love it.
collection in my binder. Wait, so like I have this leather binder and I print out everything and put it.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so
I love
cute.
So
That's a great idea.
I'm gonna put this on my wall.
Fairy rings. That's adorable.
I'm obsessed.
This is so cute.
Now I want to open a D&D or just like a gamer.
I was gonna say, so
Do
fuck
it.
Secrets of Sangria. Welcome to cooking,
Welcome
Mama.
to the Piddle Paddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the
Hey, wait a minute. If we're doing this, I'm going back to the sleepy sheep.
I would
goddamn
love
it.
to see that campaign, the rival taverns cook-off. But regardless, back to the Secrets of Sangreal. That roll with a 24, you realize that this is something, Iron Onyx is something that is native to Sangreal. It is a light metal, and you realize actually that it's the metal that you encountered on the constructs when you guys were coming into Sangreal, the one that you weren't familiar with. It is lightweight, durable, strong. Not as strong as maybe a more heavy metal, but it is very durable for its weight. And the thing that you realize that's perhaps the most aha, I suppose, is you realize as you're sort of vibing with this metal, for lack of a better term, that this metal is an amazing conductor, but not of electricity or anything like that, but it is an amazing conductor of blood magic.
I was about to say, is it fucking blood magic? Jesus
It is.
Christ.
It is an amazing conductor of blood magic.
Okay.
Blood bending. That's why it's illegal.
secret tunnel. Don't get me on another Avatar kick, for the love of God.
And I
can
can't.
always-
Shit. What can I see? Can I see in there?
You
Can I,
can't.
I can't.
Unless you
Well,
want to
can I see? Can I see what the workers look like when they come out?
They
have
don't
to,
come
right?
out.
But they said the shift was over.
They did.
Are people
They work
trapped
on
in
the-
there?
Hard to say.
Oh god,
God
damn
damn
it! I was gonna say
I
as
know.
they're in the
That
as,
was the first thought I had. I was like, fuck. That's
um
gonna stage a prison break. I don't like
so they already went all into the inn, right?
They did. Yes. Everyone.
Addie is with me.
Yes.
Slow head turn to Atlas.
No.
Hand reaches.
No. So it has been 12 seconds since we've gotten here. Let's give it at least a 30 before we try anything.
What
Right.
if there are beings trapped in there?
Well, then we.
We need to get information to tell the others. We don't have enough right now.
What if we get caught, sir?
That would be a problem.
Hey! You! Hey, what are you doing? You see from the watchtower, somebody sort of swivels around. You can't see any face or anything, but you do see a crossbow swivel towards you. And then the guards at the front entrance sort of like turn to look in your direction.
Hello.
State your business. What are you doing?
Passing through.
Then keep passing.
What? May I ask your names?
You can, but that does not mean you'll get an answer. What are you doing? What is this?
I'm just curious is all.
Curious as to what?
As to if anything needs fixing. Your machines, points to the cranes.
Fixing.
I'm a bit of a mechanic. And I was just noticing.
Acknowledges the cranes.
One of the guards up from the front goes, I mean, the crane, he's... okay, wait, you come over here. You talk to me.
May my assistant join me as well?
Yeah, I guess. Sure. Yeah, just come over here.
Slow head turn to Atlas. And he mumbles, is that better?
Mildly, sir. I still don't see how this ends particularly well, but we might have a way in at least. We're coming! We're on our way. Us 2 engineers, both of us.
That doesn't help.
I am an engineer.
Please, stop.
Sorry.
This is me saying this.
Dialing it in, sir. Don't worry.
So they'll go approach.
You're a mechanic, yeah?
Yes, I am.
And he will pull out his sorry, I'm looking at the name of my kits. Yeah, to pull out his smith's tools. And have his tinker tools on his side as well.
The other guard sort of looks over and goes, suppose that is a lot of tools. It does not mean that you are a engineer. Anyone can have these tools, no? It doesn't mean you can walk into the camp and do whatever you want.
So he's not going to show his arm, but he will show his leg.
Okay.
Which is... His arm is where most of his, like, magical spells and components come from. His leg is more of a, oh my god, what's it called? Prosthetic. Just like a very well, like, built prosthetic. So he'll just slowly roll up, like, the cuff of his pant leg just to show his leg and said,
is this proof enough of my work?
Yeah, now look at that. Look at his leg. Of course, I see his leg. You don't have to rub it in. Yes, okay, all right. We are going... Before we let you in, we're... Go and get the captain. We're going to get the captain. The captain will make the final call. We could use some help with the crane. You've worked with a crane before?
I have. I've worked with many machinations before.
Great. Okay, all right. Well, perhaps we... what is your rate? What do you charge?
Could you swing about 7 coppers an hour?
7 coppers an hour. Can do better than that. Tell you what, I will pay you 7 silver an hour.
7 silver? Now I feel like I'm robbing you.
No, of course not. We pay good work, no? Hey, come on. This is the captain. And this captain approaches you.
"'Tis a small child."
Does look young for sure. She's probably 18, or at least.
Maybe he was. I'm guessing a psycho. I don't know why, but my. I don't know why.
She's coming in. She comes up. She's got like.
Fuck you, Christian.
She's got the elvish features, which I think also would indicate sort of a betrayal. It'd be difficult to say right off the bat, like how old that she was, but she does look like she's about 18 or 19. But she definitely commands respect. And she approaches you, and she looks, and she goes, "Okay, so you can fix the crane?"
Yes, what seems to be the problem?
Well, nothing particularly, but it seems that one of our gears in the main gear shaft is not. We're having problems with it turning.
It's fine. I'll take a look. Thank you.
And
So
as
it's 7. What did you tell him? 7 silver, or so we can do 8 silver if that's more preferable to you.
You're being incredibly generous, really. I mean, looking from it, it just looks like the wire ropes and chains seem to be needed a little more oil. The sheaves and the hoist rope seem to be struggling with the tension. I'll just fix that. So, if you
Okay,
wouldn't mind.
well then that is yours. We will just. You don't mind if I have my friend here stand here and watch?
Not at all.
so while I'm going over, I want to get a layout of what the fuck is going on here. Where are the workers? If they are workers, are they mortal? Are they construct? Where were these people supposedly headed to? Are they trapped? What's going on?
So when
Who
you
are the
walk in the
parents?
gate, you hear this captain go, "Crisis, will you keep a watch? That would be perfect. The rest of you can head to the barracks. Crisis, if he tries anything with or his assistant, of course, just yell." They
Yo.
head off to the barracks. The one guard that was also talking to you just goes, "Right, see you, Crisis. Nice to meet you. I didn't catch your name. I'm Preston Knightley."
Preston, pleasure. You can just
Right.
call me App.
App? Am I saying that right?
Yep, App.
App. Right. Well, great to meet you. And your friend here, I'd shake your hand, but it looks painful. But all respectfully. And Atlas goes, right. Yes. Well, of course. My name is my name is George.
Oh no! I have go.
Right. He goes, right, George. Got you.
Jesus Christ! I'm
and
about to
just-
write all this shit down.
Walks over to the other barracks and goes, "Right, Crisis," and goes in. Crisis goes, "Well, the mission is this way." As you walk in, you see that there are the barracks that the captain and the guard. There are 2 different barracks. Captain has walked to one, Preston's walked to the other, and then there's a bigger building that sort of has like a more thatched roof that looks like a big sort of like dormitory almost. And then
The
there are
thatched roof is gonna
2
be where the people are. Yeah.
There's 2 watchtowers, and you see a lot of these like crates of this iron onyx that are sitting around the outskirts of this massive like tunnel that goes down into the earth.
With the thatched, do I see any like chains or ropes or shackles or anything of that nature? Like that's extreme, but anything that indicates.
Yeah, give me a perception check. With a 17, I think that you realize there's not like anything so obvious as like there's not like chains on the door or like anything like super obvious like
Avert.
prison-y about it. You do notice though that the door is locked from the outside, and that there are still guards in the watchtower. The one that spoke to you, right? It's like still in the watch, and then there's another one in the other watchtower.
Just to make sure, in case I can't fix it all tonight. What time do the workers start? So I want to make sure I'm not, running into them or...
Oh, of course, they start sunrise generally, but Sort of depends on the weather, I suppose, but ideally they would start at sunrise.
Okay, that might be a problem. Would I be able... I'm going to see what I can get done. But as I mentioned before, these pulleys are... The wire ropes, the chains, the hoist rope, all of it is really struggling with the tension here. You guys have been using, I assume, these quite frequently.
Yes, of course, we use it every day.
Yeah. Well, with your tools, you got to keep them well oiled and taken care of, especially when you're lifting heavy objects. Would I be able to come back tomorrow morning at sunrise to work on this as well?
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to work on the machine while the workers are present, just for safety concerns, but you could come back tomorrow after they are done.
For safety concerns, trust me, this isn't something that would harm, you know.
No, of course not. I'm not worried about the machine hurting you. I'm worried about, of course, the machine hurting the workers, or to be quite honest with you, I am that worried that the workers will hurt you in some way.
Might I ask why?
You may not. I can offer you, of course, a room and a pedal paddle in a crossroad where you wait until tomorrow, and you may have the room for free until the job is complete. The food, the room will be on us, of course.
That is incredibly kind of you. I will take that offer. You do great business, I must say. All right. So I can't come at sunrise, understandable. What time would you like me to come?
Suppose it's about sunset. I suppose we try to stop when the light goes away for safety concerns.
Evening. It's a bit more difficult to work in the dark, though. Yeah.
We can provide light of some kind, if that is helpful.
All right. I see now why you were giving me more than I bargained for. All right. Sounds good.
Apologies for the inconvenience. I know that this is not an easy task.
No, listen, you are doing your job and you're doing it very well.
I have to roll. Can I roll? Because to be honest, IAP is like sketched the fuck out. Not in a creeped out way, but he's like, what the fuck are you people doing? But he's trying to put on his smile. And I just don't think it's fair for me to keep being like, yeah, all is great, with his personality. Could I roll a deception?
Please do. Please do.
I know I should have let it go, but I can't. I don't think it's fair.
Okay. God damn it, Emma. I should just shut the fuck up. Why am I like this?
So that's gonna be a 14.
He looks at you and sort of frowns and goes, is everything all right? I understand that the working conditions are not perhaps what you are used to, but
no, it's
upset.
Listen, it's no, it's all right. I have to check in with my union, but it should be okay.
As you have just failed a deception check, will you roll for me an intimidation check?
God damn it! 18.
What does that 18 look like?
The 18 looks like... Wait, this can work for intimidation. We'll say...
It will be unfortunate, but I will have to speak with my union.
Slow eyes. Dart over.
The union is... well, they're upset with me?
Not... No. They might be... It might be difficult to get people to come out to you to work and to it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's a union, right? You know, like what can they do?
Okay, all right, okay. You don't have to talk about the union, okay. You work there in the sunrise, okay?
I mean, I don't listen. Like, you could be blacklisted from an entire syndicate.
You work with me, okay?
But,
I will stand with you.
You
work with you hear me? You work with me during the day, okay? I will stand with you. I will keep you safe, okay? You work.
Because like all I'm saying is, and because it's intimidation of 18. He's like,
All I'm saying is, if you could work with someone who's not part of the union, but understand that they're not gonna have the same skills that you're gonna need.
Okay,
to
here
acquire,
you
right?
are.
They're
I'm
untrained.
saying are you have what
So,
you want? What
would
are
you
doing?
like?
Stop!
Oh, sorry. What was that?
I said stop. You can work during the day. I am sorry that we have upset you this badly. Of course, you may.
Oh, I'm sorry. And he goes, oh, thank you. That will be great. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And he leaves.
Oh my God! Did you hear what he told me about the union? I heard what he said. I don't think I understand. What is with the union? You would not understand.
You would not understand. And after that, he's booking it to tell people about.
Hey, no! Before you leave, tell him I have to give you the key to the. We have a key to the room.
He turns around and goes, "What? Why do you have a key on you to this inn?"
Because we hire people to help, and why? You can just walk into the inn and take a room.
I don't. Sorry, being a union man, you get stuff handed to
I
you
hear
a lot.
you, union. Okay. Got it, man.
Did I mention that I've recently?
Because you rub it in my face, you sound like you're a union.
It's the benefits. I gotta tell you.
Yes, of course. Have you got the card that you're going to show me as well, huh?
He takes the king. Goes, thank you so much. You know, healthcare really, it's incredible.
Yes, of course. Yeah, get out of here. We have a shoot tomorrow.
Well, no. And he's gonna book it to tell everyone what's going on.
I know you don't understand about the unions, but what we do know is if someone tells you that they are a union, they suck. You hear that like fully audibly as he goes back into the. Hey, note to self: union guys suck. And you walk
This
into
is a terrible message.
You walk into the it is a terrible message.
Awful.
As you walk into the
And that should give you perspective on where these guys stand on the good to evil scale.
yeah, it's true, right?
Truly, though.
They just said unions suck. So all
It's
bets are off now.
We've trapped these people in like a hut, like unions. Am I right?
Yeah, maybe it's
Fuck
like 8 up in
unions,
the
though,
toes.
man.
Look, I'm a part of the chefs union for all ends.
Yeah, right. I need to figure out. Wait, aren't we in a union? We have to be called union. What do you mean union guys suck? We're in the same union.
It's just I've created existential
Union
crisis.
guys.
Right, he's
All
still
the
in the
union men.
watchtower having this conversation with himself. The guy comes back out. They're having a full conversation. He's like, "Yes, I know, but if they're from, but it's a different union. They have different."
They're not like us.
No, I don't. I think that perhaps you're wrong. You're mad at the wrong people. I think. I don't think that you're. Come up to the watchtower and we'll talk about this. I think we need to have a longer conversation about unions and who's in unions. Unions actually work for us, you know. So they have a much longer discussion that you can't hear as you enter the
What have you
Piddle Paddle
done?
Inn, where everyone else is already seated. And I guess you guys have time to put in your orders, and then and that'll be where we call it for tonight. So what have you guys ordered as you sit in this very quaint, cozy, but a little bit bigger tavern/inn than the Sleepy Sheep now? And there's a man sort of working at the front. He goes, "Hey, what can I get for you?"
I ask if they need help in the kitchen.
What? No, we don't.
I'm a-
think so.
I'm a freelance chef, and I just looking for work.
Oh
Good
no,
night.
we don't.
We don't hire freelancers.
We don't.
We don't do that
I'd
here.
love to see a resume. If you got a resume, this is what that bartender looks like as well.
Can I pull out a resume that says the Sleepy Sheep?
That's all it says.
Is it just a piece of paper that says
That's it.
sheep?
It says the Sleepy Sheep, and it says like chef at like, you know, the job was being a chef cooking.
Wait, it's when it says like how long you were there this morning to this
6 hours.
afternoon.
I can also wash the dishes.
Well, listen, we don't. You. Roll persuasion.
Got it.
Amazing.
All right, that's an 18.
Let me just roll a luck check, I suppose, and that is a natural 1. So
No!
he looks back. He goes, "Actually, we've got the world's best dishwasher slash chef working here. I don't know how we got him, but Eduardo. And this guy comes back out and he's got this like pencil stash. He's got like the full chef's hat on, and he comes out with like everybody goes, "Hey, you guys wanted to eat, or what are you doing?"
I give him a knowing look that only chefs know.
The glint in his eye is perfectly animated. He goes, "You understand?"
Fucking Eduardo.
I
See it in
understand.
your eyes. He like comes out from the kitchen, grabs you by like the like chest
No!
side of your armor, and goes, You're the one they prophesied about.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, what can I get for you?
We don't have time for this side quest.
This is the most important thing I've ever done in my life. Hey, but this is what I was born for.
Anyway, the prophecy aside, what can I get for you guys?
Oh my god.
You know what? Chef's choice. Tell me what's your best thing.
Yes, I will.
What's your uncle's name? Is this what's his face?
Jeffrey.
Is this Jeffrey?
Oh, our uncle? Uncle
Yeah.
Jeffrey? Oh, crossover!
This is not Jeffrey
Damn
the
it.
demon. He looks and he goes, The best thing that I have created are the dragon wings. They are a masterpiece of my own.
Fucking chicken wings.
Would you
Can
like
I
to
give
try?
him? Yes, absolutely. Also, here is some of the leftover schnitzel.
What a like let me whip my dick out like and oh yeah, try mine.
Oh, by the way.
He tastes
I'm just
it, and
trying.
he's like, looking at me.
No.
And
Nat
then,
Clay schnitzel.
It's impossible.
yeah. So I rolled for his after having that schnitzel. It was a natural 2. So
Those are weighted dice. There's something amiss.
a natural 2. I'm giving myself a leg up here. But yeah, he goes back to make these wings, and he's so distracted by the schnitzel, it's shaken his confidence sort of to his core. And so these wings come out. They're not good. They're overcooked. They're not seasoned correctly. And he knows it too. And he sits back, and you hear him under his breath go, Prophecy was right. Prophecy was right.
What the fuck is going on?
He's gonna hang up his hat, and he's gonna walk out of the.
No!
I want to stop him. I want to get in front of him and say, "Now you get a hold of yourself right now." I want to hold him by his by his apron, like he was kind of doing with me. And I want to like, look, you and I, we're cut from a different kind of meat. We are chefs. God damn it. And I want you to go back there, put that hat back on, and you make your art. Because that's what you are. You're an artist, God damn it. You're gonna do it. I believe in you.
You're right. I will try again. And with that,
Oh my god.
comes back out with the best wings you have ever tasted. These are magical. Maybe actually magical. You're not 100% sure. There might actually be magic involved. And that's what you're up to. Does anybody else order anything different? I know somebody mentioned wanting a unicorn elixir.
I want one of those.
Oh no.
Liana's getting the wizard's brew and the mushroom soup, and she's just like shoveling it down her gullet.
Yeah, I think Vest got the unicorn elixir and the fairy rings.
I think first of all, I should say that unicorn elixir's it's just such fun colors, like such a bright blue with like these like purple swirls going through it, and it's in a very fun glass. Definitely one of those like you can almost get it just to look at it cocktails, but it does taste really good as well. And then the fairy rings are fantastic. The wizard's brew I think is just like a solid cocktail, right? Like it's got a very nice ratio of like alcohol to mixer, so it doesn't like just taste good. It also packs a punch. And then what did you say that you got other
The
than
mushroom soup.
Oh, and again, that one's I think really nice. What's nice about it too is that like while it's not Elvis's cooking, it is very much like a homey dish, and so it's a nice way to sort of come back into an inside environment after being outside for so long. Not that you're uncomfortable outside, but this feels very much like coming home almost. The soup does. Does IOP get anything?
No, he comes in like with all this information. He sees all the food at the bar.
Let me describe this because I have a moment that I would love to pitch to you, and that is this like very cooking mama, enjoyable, like warm environment. Everybody's having a good time, drinking their cocktails, and Elvis is just re-inspired an artist chef to make his greatest dish. And then the door like slams open. Darkness and
Thunder,
like wind
lightning,
are like
rain.
yeah, there's like howling wind outside and the darkness and like the fog creeps in a little bit as Iop stands in the doorway with this haunted sort of 1,000-yard stare, and behind him is just the silhouette of Atlas sort of like almost looming in the background, and the vibe like immediately shifts. There's a guy at the front sort of playing something. He's like do 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 do. Everybody sort of like turns to look, and you hear one guy go, and then shuffles out.
What did the guy say? What did he say?
He just coughs. He just goes, and then like shuffles away.
My favorite mental image ever.
Very Western.
Is socially awkward, obviously. So with everyone looking at him, he's going to slowly close the door.
Best would go get him.
So the door just closes. Atlas behind you's like, no, you could probably keep the door open, sir. I think we have to go.
No.
We have to go inside.
No, they were all looking at me.
Yeah, Vest would absolutely like come over and
No. He's holding it shut.
Give me a contested athletics check.
I love this.
Panic.
Liana at this point has put it in order of dragon wings.
17.
They're coming up. Don't even worry about it.
Oh God.
Starts tossing them in the back. You got a 17. What did you get, Vest?
No, I got 17.
17.
That's got 17. I have got 4.
So you try and hold the door shut, but you slip just a little bit at the last moment, and because you still have, I think, a little bit of like blood on your hand. It's dried now, but it's just kind of compromised your grip a little bit, and so it just slips. Door yanks open. Everybody in the bar again. As the door gets yanked open again, and you're still standing there. Now you sort of look like you've sort of been pulled with the doorknob, so you're sort of like stumbling halfway in, halfway out, like off balance, looking around, and I think your eyes have like widened to the point that you sort of are like, and somebody goes, "What's that guy's deal?"
Oh God.
Vest would just be like, the more you stand outside the door like this, the more they're gonna freak out. If you come sit down, everyone will forget about it.
I didn't. They're all looking.
You're gonna make it worse by standing out here. Just trust me.
They're all looking at me.
They're not looking at you. They're looking at Atlas. First of all, come sit down.
I think that guy's got knives for hands. I do have knives for hands.
He goes, I got a job.
Multi-pass.
And a room. Here, you can take it. Gives her the room key.
Take him by the hand and be like, come sit down and we'll talk about
Help.
your job.
Help. He's
Atlas is trying to show the person that asked how his knife hands work, and they are horrified. One person though is intrigued. So does it like? How does that work? Well, it's sort of like a grabbing things is tough. That was a bit of an oversight in the design.
I does a slow fucking turn. He goes, oversight.
I can't grab things.
Yes, but you're not dead, are you? You're not ripped limb from limb. You're welcome.
It is not your conversation, okay? You do your thing.
Oversight!
Is he like your... Yes, he designed the heads. A very well designed...
You're welcome, by the way! Trying to protect you.
Is he always like that? No. It's been a long day. He's had such a hard time today. You wouldn't believe it. He actually just lost his favorite cat. Oh, I get that. Yes, it truly...
Stop!
What could it be, sir? Whatever could be the issue now, sir?
He goes, just never mind. Sorry. I
Had a
don't.
long day,
Uh,
sir?
I enjoy.
Need a drink, sir.
I enjoy.
Can someone
that.
get him a drink? Bess, if you would kindly.
Bess would just slide her drink.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, he's had such a long
He
day.
leans over to Vess and goes, this is liquor, right?
Yeah.
How much do I drink?
I wouldn't drink the whole thing right now. Just start with a little.
Okay, I know. I'm supposed to build up a tolerance for this, right?
Right.
I have none.
Take like a drink and call it good for now.
Okay, halfway.
There you go.
All right.
Is this how much alcohol do you think I've consumed generally?
Not any.
Okay. Give me a constitution check with that drink.
He's doing it because Vess told him to! And she speaks with people. 3?
A 3?
4 with plus 1?
Oh, good. It was a 4. I was worried for a second.
Makes it so much better.
That was almost bad. Yeah. Could have just been a 3. Unreal. With a 4, with a very strong, solid 4, you take this drink. About 10 to 15 minutes after taking that drink, you start to feel like gravity's messed up. Like, that's your first thought. Something about
wizard in here.
the gravity's gone wrong, and then it's not everybody, it's just you. You are being, something has happened to your gravity. Somebody's cast a spell
I've got a spell on me.
that's done something to your gravity, and then the world
And
starts
now you're
spinning.
mine.
The world is spinning like this way, and which is the wrong way.
Graviturgists are little fucking shits. No lie.
Oh my god. How much? Okay, I'm going to. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate it. I'll show you knife hands later. Thank you. Yes, sir. How? Oh god. Just sort of.
He is actually has his hand on his head and been leaning over towards Vess.
Actually. Yes, I'll leave the professionals to it. I'm going to sneak up to the room and, in the least sneaky way possible,
Jesus Christ.
clumsily, like, clatters up the stairs, trips once, and, like, actually slips down the stairs. So you hear like a.
God damn it!
Nope. I am all right. Don't anyone worry. I am a-okay. I'm going to just proceed up the stairs calmly, quietly. Oh, good heavens! Ah! And then you hear the key clattering against the doorknob for probably
The
seconds.
fuck hired IAP and Atlas to be stealthy!
If only my hands weren't made of knives, I could maybe get this key where it's supposed to go.
Use your knives as a fucking tinker's thieves' tools!
Oh, right. Oh, sure.
You're picky! You're picky!
Pass out.
Just
Right.
hearing this yelled across the bar.
Since it took like 15 minutes before IAP lost his mind,
Yes.
can we assume that he told us about the job during it?
Do you think
Before?
IAP tells them about the job?
Yes.
Well, he started to when he came in.
Yeah, he would have, I think he would have been worried though about people listening in, so I think he would have written it down in a page in his schematic book and slid it over to the party to read about the intel that he gathered, what he's gotten on the job, what he's noticed, the lock outside the door, all of the info on why this onyx is so important and how it might be connected to the blood magic that's within the city here, and he's just giving you guys a full, so you have that paper if you need to refer to it.
So you're looking at this paper now as you realize, like, he hands you this paper, and within moments of handing you the paper, you realize that's going to be far more useful than any questions that you now have for IOP, who is slipping quickly and then just sort of starts muttering about a gravitational spell and just sort of slumps to the side.
I think Vess would probably look at Elvis and Liana and be like, I'm gonna let you guys figure this out, because that's not really my strong suit.
Liana threw a mouthful of dragon wings and just goes, "Oi, you're the one who got him to drink the unicorn tears."
I didn't think one single thing to knock him on his ass.
He's a 36-year-old man, that he appears to be.
Elvis is gonna go pick him up.
Yeah,
Just, like,
that was
pick
what
up
I was
on-
gonna say, is that, like, Vess
One of us,
take
yeah.
him upstairs.
Yeah, Elvis just comes and picks him up. She,
Give me
she
an
big strong
athletics
lady.
check on that.
Gotcha, Bob.
She.
All right, so that is a 22.
Oh, nice!
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna say she drops him.
You just very, like, easily and delicately just sort of scoop IOP into your arms and carry him upstairs.
Yep. While walking away, I do want to, like, turn to the chef and say, "That was fantastic. We gotta talk later."
We shall. But
I love this guy.
I have work to do.
Of course.
With a flick of his
Oh,
apron,
Jesus.
like a
No.
cloak, he goes back in the kitchen. As you arrive at the top of the stairs, you see Atlas is still struggling with the key.
I think Vess would just take the key and open the door for him.
Almost got it. Ah, you're here. Yeah.
I got it, buddy. I got it.
Right. Okay. Right. After you, I suppose. You guys unlock the room. You open it up. I will say that this is one room. It's got like 2 beds in it. It looks like this was definitely a room that they just sort of have on reserve for like whatever sort of freelance employee they might have to bring in for probably what you would guess would be mechanical reevaluations or fixes or whatever else. But you guys all sort of stumble into the room. You've got it for free. You've got 2 beds and a little bit of floor space and an unconscious IOP in your arms and a paper full of notes about this very confusing compound. Has anybody read that paperwork over, or are you guys waiting until tomorrow to look at what IOP wrote down?
I'm gonna.
I would
Honestly,
say,
I
did
think-
Vess share it?
Yeah, I gave it to you guys. Like,
Then, yeah, we read it.
yeah.
I'm busy taking care of Grumpy.
As you say, Leon, I should say you're the only one with that note.
Yeah.
So I read the note. I'm gonna hold on to the note. I would imagine IOP has a plan of what he wants to do and everything else, and there's nothing we can do right now. So she's just gonna kind of slide it into one of her pockets in that in that cloak of hers, and she's going to, like, whatever bed Elvis throws IOP into, she's kind of just gonna post up at, like, the foot of the bed with, like, her back against the foot of the bed, like, and, like, sleep on the floor with the back against the bed in case, like, anything weird happens, anybody comes in, almost on watch but still gonna sleep.
Got you.
I'm gonna put Aya down, but I'm gonna make sure he's on his side and not, like, front or back. So if he throws up, it's not gonna kill him.
I think he would definitely be mumbling in Celestial.
Vess speaks Celestial.
God damn it. Well, yeah, you're a fucking cleric.
She's an ASMR.
Yep, that too. It's just him mumbling about how they've trapped them again, like over and over. They've trapped them again. I need to free them. I need to get them out. How will I get them out? Trapped again. Why do we keep getting trapped again over and over? We just broke free. And that's what he's just saying.
I think Vess probably just sat at the end of the bed that Iap's on. She just sat there next to him because she's not gonna let him. Like, she's gonna watch him, make sure that he's okay, because he's obviously not okay. So
I feel like he passes out in and out. He's very
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to Atlas and be like, Atlas, do you sleep?
No. Why?
Okay, cool. I go lay down at the bed, the other bed that no one else is using, and go to bed.
Sweet. Does everybody go to sleep then?
yeah, I think so. Vess would like fall asleep at the end of the bed where Iap is probably.
Oh.
Atlas
Yeah,
is
the
gonna.
guy's on the floor, back against the bed, like arms crossed,
Posted
nuzzled
up.
into her- nuzzled into her hellhound pelt and cape, and just like she's like either one or two lines of defense when somebody comes through the door, because God only knows what trouble Iap has got them into.
Atlas
Gotta
sort of like looks over at Iop with Vess, and then just sort of like eyes the whole group as you guys sleep and goes, right. Okay. Suppose I'll whittle. Takes out like a piece of wood and starts to kind of whittle it, and I think he's whittling it in the shape of the original form of Prometheus. And that is where we will end our session for tonight. Tune in next time to see what happens in The Secret of Sangreal.